come into the team, and Jason Ball, I don't think that's any huge surprise, has dropped out. O'Loughlin gets it from Stafford, goes for the handball. Barry should kick a goal. He doesn't improve the angle, but that's no problem for him on the left, and he kicks it. A flying start for Leo Barry and the Swans.
Yeah, flying start. Interesting, Wayne Carey is lined up in the middle of the ground to start the game, just trying to sort out some matchups. Looks like Andrew Dunkley's picked up Adam Lang. Cora McKernan being picked up by Andrew Shawbull. But pretty quick goal, that, isn't it? Straight out of the centre. Mickey O'Loughlin involved very early. He's a key part, as we all know. And Leo Barry weaves and turns and finishes pretty nicely too.
Some doubt about him playing this week. He had the knee injury. We saw him in his civvies after half-time last Saturday night. But he's obviously pretty fit and firing. So they've had some great encounters, these two teams. As Paul said, going back probably to the mid-90s, and they've really built on that since that grand final. Pickett out of the centre, went without it in the end. O'Loughlin did well not to give away a free kick. Schwass gets it from Stevens. Schwass's little one effective, and Barry's made a good start here. He's probably outside his range. Well, he's not now, Paul.
No, that's 50 metres, and we've seen a lot in the first 4 rounds. Undisciplined marking on the mark, undisciplined free kicks, and that's been costing teams goals and also turning them over the opposition as well. So Leo Barry will definitely kick this. Johnny Blakey looks like he's got the job on Leo Barry, even though David King's on the mark. Matthew Nix is on Shannon Grant on the wing. So there's some pretty interesting matchups. I noticed, I think Adam Simpson's picking up Adam Goods also.
So Barry kicks the goal. Well, what a start, Paul, for Barry particularly, and for the Swans here, but he's got 2 on the board and we've been playing a couple of minutes.
Look, and the centre clearances are so critical, aren't they? Particularly on the SCG, as we've mentioned many times. They've got the ball out twice now, the Sydney Swans, straight down the forward line, and Leo Barry has 2 goals already. And as I said, Johnny Blakey's got the job on Leo Barry, and he's probably going to need to tighten up already in this game.
So the Swans a couple early. Carey still in the centre square. McKernan forward, and Burton gets his hands to it. O'Loughlin again having an important role to play early. Schwass kicks to half forward. Archer's got it on Saddington, who's playing his 50th today. He's only missed 2 games since his debut, so it's a great effort by the youngster. Burton was the high flyer. Nix has got it. Handball inboard. The Swans on top early. Creswell almost ran out of room, but squeezed it. Good mark running back, taken by Jason McCartney. To Simpson. Kangaroos get away here. Clayton is a real runner and has become a very effective player. Kicks to Carey at centre half forward. Stafford. O'Loughlin, I think he got a shock. It just lobbed in his arms. Made a bit of a blue, but got away with it. And Matthews' kick is a beauty to Schwass. It's a real connection with these two clubs, with Schwass and Grant, and now Allison, isn't there?
Schwass already had 3 or 4 possessions already. I think Shane Clayton's picked him up, but he'll need to tighten up also.
Gee, good hands, Bolton, his first touch. And then Barry's kick to the pocket to Allison, who's played in 2 premierships with the Kangaroos. Clever over the back, trying to give Goods a run at it, but it'll be a boundary throw-in.
And McKernan just looks like he's in a little bit of trouble there, Bruce, too.
Yeah, he had his plugger at centre half forward, isn't he? He's doubled over a bit. Good start, Tony, for the Swans here.
Fantastic start. Leo Barry has been terrific, and Michael O'Loughlin's been getting the ball out of the middle. He's been fantastic.
So Goods underneath it and Archer. You'd reckon the Swans will have the advantage in that situation. Stevens to Creswell. Creswell hooks back and misses. It's a behind.
Interesting matchup. Looks like Darren Creswell's going with Wayne Carey. Now, I would think that Dennis Pagan will try and get Carey to play on the ball, but also to push forward, as we saw in that last contest.
Well, Carey's got a chance here to get involved, and he takes it. He's just such a complete player, isn't he? He can really play anywhere. Had huge problems during the week in the groin area in terms of being able to move, and it's great for the game and for the Kangaroos that he's out here. Bell's kick to centre half forward. Let's see if they can get a fly at it. At the back was Lang, who's been pretty impressive this year. Stafford's handball. Abraham's high tackle on Dunkley. Well, in the back, high tackle, one or the other, and Dunkley's got it.
And we're going to see a lot of football by the Kangaroos around that position of the ground. That's their game plan. Basically, don't fiddle around with it. They're the #1 teams in long kicks in the competition, and that's the area they go to. And it looks like Abraham...
Well, I thought he was almost going to be... That's 50 metres.
It looked like he was going to take his number there.
Is it because he tried to mark... I'm not sure what happens here, but did Abraham mark the spot on, or... I don't know what happened there at all, but I'm not sure if he has been reported or not.
It looks like he's writing something down in his notebook now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he actually has taken his name, but I'm a bit like you, Bruce. It's a bit hard to pick up there exactly what that was all about.
you've got to be careful as a comment. The only thing I can think of is whether or not Abraham's boot stomped on Dunkley. Now, I'm not suggesting it did because I didn't see it, but that's the only, well, a little bit there maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Abraham's been in the wars, unfortunately, because he's such a skillful player and deemed to be a very fair footballer, but he's had a pretty traumatic week, didn't he? One way or the other. King's kick in the middle, I think, fortuitously has come off. He was going to the corridor anyway, and Grant's got it, but Shannon Grant goes in short. Here's a chance for McKernan. Just a bit loose there, the Swans at the back, and McKernan able to take the easy mark.
Yeah, just a little bit of latitude there. I thought Brad Seymour probably didn't know that Shawble was coming with McKernan, and perhaps maybe could have filled in the space. As we look here, we see he just didn't know what to go. Probably a little bit hard, and McKernan marking on the lead. But maybe with a bit of talk from Shawble, maybe Seymour could have chopped that one off.
He's been in terrific form, McKernan, this year. He's actually been very instrumental in a couple of the Kangaroos wins, and that kick straightening up, and he's got it, goal. So McKernan with that early goal.
Yeah, Carey's had a couple of touches already, as I said. Creswell versus Carey, that's certainly not a matchup we would have thought about before the game. But Shannon Grant, this is what he does very well. He finishes off his work. And McKernan's going to be a headache if he's given that space up there to run around in. He's certainly very strong overhead, and he can also lead too. So Shawble's going to be right on his mettle today if McKernan spends the majority of the game up in that full forward position.
A couple of goals to Sydney, reply with McKernan. They're going with a tall forward line here, the Kangaroos. McKernan, Lang and Watt are all forward, maybe trying to expose a lack of height. Clayton gets it to Bell. Bell wide. Here's Lang, one of the tools. Good handball inside. Abraham was very unlucky. The bounce went against him there. Pushing forward, Dunkley, who does reserve his best sometimes for these games. And Creswell back to O'Loughlin, who looks silky. Stafford in the centre. 4 goals last week. Was a huge player. Wants to go long. Well, no, that was just a little plan, wasn't it, to get rid of a couple of Schwass marks at centre wing. He must lift when he plays against his old team. I mean, he's a great player week in, week out anyway.
He's had another great season so far already too.
Just timed the kick to centre half forward, wanting Stafford, and Carey gets back. God, he's valuable, isn't he?
Yeah, that's going to be the danger for the Swans with Darren Creswell playing on him. He's certainly not going to be able to match him in the air, and he's got to be very careful when Wayne pushes forward and back.
Clayton's kick to Burton. Burton would want a big one today, coming back into the team with Capuano injured. Blakey's kick, a tricky one. Lang was good, but Dunkley again getting in and then pushed out very well. Nix has got hold of it. Nix away. Stafford Shepherd was effective. Nix, those short little steps. Kick to centre half forward. Goods at the back. Well played at the front by Simpson, belting away. Blakey's handball wide to Clayton. Clayton with some space, called to play on by Carey. And McKernan just shoves his man out of the way, and he's going to be pinged against Shaw. The free kick going to Shaw.
Yeah, just noticed there when Matthew Nix was going forward, a number of the Swans forwards were leading backwards rather than up towards him, and really left him with nowhere to kick it.
Ben Matthews has kicked, bit dangerous, but well done by Stevens to Creswell. So plenty of Swans players getting posies here. Maxfield has played a fair bit on the interchange earlier this year. It's his birthday today. He kicks the ball inside his 28, and he kicks to a bloke who also has, well, Bolton, I thought he'd taken the mark, no, and the Kangaroos are away. Good mark, Shannon Grant. He knows this ground so well. Back to Harvey. High tackle, not paid. Back inboard. Handball coming back from Shannon Grant. The kick going forward by Calthorpe, who just grabbed his shoulder afterwards, and now the Swans are away with Nix.
It looks like when Kangaroos are coming forward, their forwards are leading up, and the Swans defenders are just peeling off at the moment. They're continuing to bomb the ball in. That could be a bit of a problem. They may have to change their game plan, and they may have to just start to chip the ball around a little bit. Just Andrew Dunkley seems to be playing off his man a little bit, so does Andrew Shawble. And there's the bench there. Brady Rawlings, Gary Durkay, Kent Kingsley and Troy Makepeace, a couple of youngsters.
Not much experience is there on that bench for the Kangaroos. They've only got 13 players from their premiership team last year, so they've had a high attrition rate with injuries. So that's 9 in 5 matches that are not playing, this being round 5 of this season. Blakey belting hard and high, not very handsome. Lang has been really impressive in the opening 4 rounds. Gives it up to Shawble. Good play out wide to Matthews. Matthews down the line to Saddington. Archer with him, so a fair bit of experience there on Saddington. That's a compliment for Saddington. The kick to half forward. Stevens has been busy early. Such a good running player. He's outside 50. That's probably the worst part of his game. He's kicking. King cut it off. Pushes forward towards McCartney. Keeps his head down. Did well. Then he's in trouble. Swans through weight of numbers may win it here. Wharf, no. Calthorpe, I think, over the top ball.
Yeah, terrific contest there. Both teams very, very committed. Well done, David King and Jason McCartney too. They'll certainly both winning the contest there. Very hard, nice smother. And just to bottle it up down there was a pretty good result from the Kangaroos, because the Swans did appear to have the numbers.
Inside 30 here, the Swans. Stafford giving away a bit of height. He doesn't do that too often. But that's to Burton. Clayton was good. Back to Burton. He does have very good skills for such a tall. Looked a free kick there that didn't go to Shannon Watt in his first game this season. Hasn't played, in fact, since '98. Long handball to O'Loughlin, who's been very busy to Seymour. Seymour's kick to the pocket. They've gone wide to Barry. And out of play. Plug it down on the boundary line. How do you think they've settled, Tony, the two teams?
The Swans look very good. I think they're using the ball terrific, Bruce. But North Melbourne, their back line has been good. They've repelled a couple of forward thrusts from the Swans. But overall, I think both sides have settled down pretty good. And it looks like being a great match.
You won't be surprised, Plucker, to know there's 23 already going for 24. Creswell in the pocket. Still with Creswell. And he has missed the lot. Plugger, what about the conditions? You're actually down there. Is it pretty warm?
Oh, look, it's warm, Bruce, but I mean, it's certainly not hot. It's really, I mean, it's as close to perfect for footy as you could probably get. There's a little bit of breeze, so I mean, that's having a cooling effect on the players, I think, but it's certainly not hot. It's just a great day for footy.
Pike to Carey. Gee, hasn't Dennis Pagan used him so well this year? I mean, the greatest centre-half forward in history, arguably. You can talk about that forever, but playing centre-half back in the middle, Archer in short to Grant.
Well, this will be an interesting setup here where they bomb it long, which they normally do, or they wait for something to eventuate. There's not too much on offer down there.
Just pops it up. They've got the height advantage, but ironically, it's Harvey that might take it. He takes a good one. Maybe it was for Abraham to take the big fly at the back, but Harvey took a very good mark.
Yeah, it looked like Winnie was flying in there from the left-hand side, but that was a good mark in the end by Brent Harvey, and he is a terrific player. Brent Harvey and Peter Bell so far this year have been absolutely sensational in their work rate. And it's interesting Harvey starting up forward. He could prove a bit of a problem for Jared Crouch because he's a very, very quick player.
There's the angle. He's kicked 32 goals and 24 goals in the last two seasons, so they get a lot of goals out of him. And plenty this year so far, and that's a good kick. He's kicked the goal. And when you've got rovers that kick goals, it adds that extra dimension, doesn't it?
It was a good setup there from the Kangaroos. I think it was Johnny Blakey that took the kick out from right down in defence and worked it up to Wayne Carey, and already Carey's been pretty good, and along with Darren Creswell, that's a fine match. But what's that mark there? Just a little bit of a nudge, which was perfectly legal. Just worked Jared Crouch under the ball, and Brent Harvey, as I said, starting up on the forward line, and he could create a few headaches.
Back to 1 point margin. The Swans leading with Brent Harvey getting the goal. So McKernan and Harvey have been big goal kickers this year. Bell has been big in all departments this year. What a great player he is as he goes forward. Calthorpe's handball. Shortball's little deft touch was important, and then Matthews. Seymour went for the shepherd, and Lang works hard and keeps it in. Handball back inboard. Gets it to King. King's kick is a good one. It's very close. He might have kicked a goal. He has. What a great kick by David King.
Yeah, he has been a goal kicker this year, David King. Seems to, rather than play on the half-back flank as we've come accustomed to when playing over the last 2 or 3 years, he's been pushed up to the wing and up to the half-forward, and that's a great goal from that position. Some coaches would rather a guy maybe square it into the middle of the ground, but King certainly is a goal kicker and he can kick goals from all parts of the ground, and that was a very, very good finish.
There's the Swans bench with Fosdyke closest to us, Fitzgerald, Bolton and Armat. So again, some inexperience there. There is a different atmosphere when it's a Kangaroos home ground here, isn't there? There's not the chant.
Yeah, well, look, I think the thing being that the Swans members can't get into the game, so the crowd's a little bit disappointed, but I guess we've got to expect that.
McCartney over the top. It was a good smother coming from the Kangaroos from Stafford, but free kick going to Jason McCartney. So after a big start for Sydney with 2 goals in 2 minutes to Leo Barry, Kangaroos have got right on top here. Bell getting a lot of it, inboard to Pickett. Getting a lot of easy touches at the moment, the Kangaroos, and Pickett loads it up. Shannon Grant's his target, and he's got him.
Yeah, they're just a bit loose all over the ground that last 5 minutes, haven't they? They've sort of really laid off their opponent. Stewie Maxfield was a bit stiff there. He did have to commit himself and go and pick up Bell. In that instance, Bell got the mark and handball to Stewie's direct opponent in Pickett, and I'm not too sure Matthew Nix, I think, is picking up Shannon Grant. and Grant drifted down forward and in the end took a pretty strong mark.
Real change in his career since going to Kangaroos. He played 58 games for the Swans and kicked 38 goals, so he averaged about a half a goal a game. He's kicked 88 goals in 53 matches, so he's really doubled his goal-kicking input at the Kangaroos, and he's hit the post.
Yeah, certainly I think he's been used in a bit of a different role, and I guess with Carey up there and McKernan at times, that crumbing position for the Kangaroos is very important. Shannon Grant is a very good crummer. He does get a lot of his goals when the ball's bombed inside 50. He crumbs well, and he is a very good finisher, apart from that last kick for goal.
Pagan's paddock has been a good thing for him as well as Carey, hasn't it?
But certainly he's been allowed to run on to open goals on many occasions.
Now, Nix has put himself in a pretty awkward spot here to Stevens. He went that side and then really had no one to kick to. Now, they might get away. Seymour should go over the top, and he does, and the Swans have done it all right in the end. They kept their head. Crouch. He's going to stretch Wharf here, but the bounce is kind, and now Sydney go forward. Wharf's kick floating and floating. It was a typical ball for Saddington, and Carey's given away a free kick, which will annoy him because it was never going to be easy for Saddington to mark that one.
Yeah, it was a difficult kick, and sometimes in that case, Wayne Carey obviously took the opinion, well, he's going to mark it anyway. You watch it here, Carey would have thought, well, he's going to mark it, I might as well make him earn it. And in the end, the wobbly old kick was a tough one to mark. And this may be a tad outside Jason's distance, so it will be interesting to see if they set something up, if there's anyone in the lead or he has a shot for goal here.
Kick from just outside 50. What a good young player he is. In his 50th, as we said today, and he has pushed it away, the distance worrying him, and Burton flicking it back for a behind.
Yeah, in that case, you'd probably rather see maybe a Swans forward leading out, trying to create some space down there for each other and kick it to the lead. The danger is there, you kick it long and it's punched through by Matthew Burton and a 1-point result, so a bit of a wasted opportunity. Have
a good look what's in front of Pike. They're getting it from Pickett. Long kick over centre wing. Nick's good to Seymour. Free kick to the Swans, coming back to Nick's. Nick's at centre wing here. 2-2-3-1. As we said, we've had 4 games since the grand final that gone inside 2 goals and not much in it. Well, that's a dreadful kick. He says, found Carey, and Carey finds Grant.
Carey's had 6 possessions already. I'm sure Darren Creswell will be thanking his teammate for kicking it straight down Carey's throat. And they've really probably got to start to use Creswell on the break.
Dreadful kick by Grant. Maxfield's kick to O'Loughlin, and he's got it. Gee, Shannon Grant's kick was poor, and Maxfield chipped in, and Mickey O'Loughlin's taken a good mark, and he wants to play on, he does. O'Loughlin's kicked a beauty, it's a goal! Well, it matches David King at the other end, doesn't it?
Look, that's just very, very smart play from Michael O'Loughlin. But you did mention an ordinary kick from Shannon Grant, which mentioned on many occasions, turnovers do decide a lot of games. Great mark in the first place. Glenn Archer was right behind, but watch, Mickey O'Loughlin didn't hesitate. He got straight up off the ground, and rather than summing the situation up from the boundary line, he said, I'm going to play on, and he was always going to have a shot in this case, and it really was a very good finish in the end.
Good start for O'Loughlin. No goals last week. He was shut out a bit, had no real impact. He's had a great start to the season prior to that. So the Swans back in front by points. A high standard game early. Matthews kicks out wide. McCartney running hard. Stafford having to work a lot today. McCartney decided not to go over the line, probably not the right play, and Stevens belts to the line and out of play.
Yeah, that's where it's difficult to make a decision with that rule the way it is. McCartney, does he push the ball over the boundary line? Does he knock it back in? Probably made the wrong decision, but then again, if he hit it straight over, it may have been a free kick to the Swans anyway.
2 very mobile big men, the Swans, haven't they? Stafford and Goods. It's a huge advantage to them. Bell to Abraham. Winnie down the line. Neat kick, looking for McKernan. Dunkley, big fly from the back. Free kick, I think, to Dunkley for a push against Lang. They were lined up a bit there, the big flyers.
And that's a big test for Lang too. He's been in good form, Lang, since he's gone up forward. He's started his career, I guess, down as a defender. But Andrew Dunkley's also been in outstanding form for the Sydney Swans.
Luff gets it from Dunkley and then loads it up because he had Nix running hard, and Wharf drops in and takes the mark. Good player, Wharf. Was riddled with injury last year with a knee and only played about half the season. Saddington courageously running back, and O'Loughlin handball to Allison. Allison's going to kick a goal. Terrific stuff, Mickey O'Loughlin.
Yeah, you mentioned before, Bruce, Michael O'Loughlin's already had it 7 possessions, and he's kicked 1 goal, gave that one off to Brett Allison, and he's a critical player for them. But it's well done by Jason Senning just to back in the pack. The Kangaroos boys did well also just to get the ball to ground. Smart play from Mickey O'Loughlin, and there's Brett Allison. Won't he be happy about that goal against his old team?
Well, it's early days, isn't it? But boy, he's been a good pickup when he's added that little bite. And if Craig O'Brien struggles this year, hopefully he won't. There's the Kangas bench. Shannon Watt off, but geez, valuable Allison, isn't he?
He certainly is, and he is a goal kicker. And with 4 on the interchange bench, you can take those fellas on and off the ground.
Uses his impact. He's over 30, 31 years of age, and a real impact player. Kangas forward, McKernan, big strong body in the front. Dunkley just couldn't find the footy in the end. Lang trying to give it off. Good tackle there from Wharf. Gee, high one though, and a free kick to Abraham. Is it Abraham or Durkay? It's Gary Durkay who's come off the interchange. First game for the season. Hasn't played since round 17 last year.
He's certainly a valuable addition, isn't he, to be seeing in the seconds? Gee,
that's a terrible free kick.
Bit hard to tell where the round the neck was. It is difficult when a player sort of drops his head down. I don't know where the umpires expect them to actually tackle them, but Wayne Swash, I think it was, maybe a little bit unlucky in that case.
So Gary Durkay's first kick for this season. We said he hasn't played senior footy since round 17 last year. Straight through the middle, he's kicked the goal.
Yeah, once again, we see the Kangaroos really just going to get into that dangerous area. Looks like Corey McKernan will alternate between centre-half forward and full forward at this early stage of the game. The ball was bombed in long there. And I don't see much wrong with Wayne Swash's tackle there. It did start low. Durkay dropped down. And, of course, naturally enough, the tackle's then going to go over the shoulder. But certainly a little bit lucky. But you've got to make the most of those opportunities. And Durkay certainly did for a very good goal.
4-2-4-1. Stafford and Burton. O'Loughlin. Good play by Abraham to get it out. And they run very hard. Harvey building back towards the goal square. At the back, Seymour under pressure from Durkay, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Yeah, that's good play from Brad Seymour just to get it over the boundary line. Peter Bell started off the game pretty well also. He's had 6 or 7 possessions already. And most of the prime movers earlier in pretty good form.
Right half forward, McKernan and Shawball. Advantage, I think, with the Kangaroos. Wharf missed it. Clayton's got it. Finds some space and then wastes one a bit. Up and under, and Matthews gets hold of it.
He was a bit unlucky there. You could tell he actually tried to centre that ball, but just hit it in the belly of the football. And a good old-fashioned mongrel kick straight to the Swans defender.
So Matthews tucked hard up against the fence here, so he hasn't got much room to be fancy. Probably has to go as long as he can. Decides to put it up for Stafford. Burton gets in there. Burl, handball back inside for Carey. Got nearly 30 kicks last week as a centre-half back, and now the Kangas have got the numbers. They didn't take advantage here. No fly from either Archer. In fact, Archer gives a free kick away. No fly from Archer or Abraham, so they wasted it a bit.
Yeah, it was a wasted forward thrust, and went into the pocket too. Normally they hit the ball outside the top of the 10-metre square, which is a lot more dangerous area there. But Carey's on his way to 30 again. He's had 7 kicks already. It appears to be playing as obviously a midfielder, but really playing as a sweeping type midfielder.
Shaw was not a great kick, so probably won't want to muck around here. He's kicked that well. Kicked it really well in terms of distance. Schwass read it perfectly. It was a hard handball to Wolf, probably a bit hard. Back to Schwass. So a good build up here. Maxfield's been lively. He's got Seymour running. Will he pop it? He does. Tough ball. Great mark. Terrific mark.
Yeah, that is a terrific mark. Absolutely no idea what was coming behind him, Brad Seymour. Didn't take his eyes off the ball at all. And from half-back, it's good to see a half-back running down the ground. Stewie Maxfield has been lively early. This is an important kick for Brad Seymour.
He kicked a big goal, Maxfield off. He kicked a big goal last week, Seymour. He's only kicked 8 goals in 93 matches, so it's not like he does it week in, week out. But remember Plugger saying, no worries last week, at a critical time. But that one, he's just pushed it, so maybe he likes the big stage when he kicks his goals.
Yeah, just drifting off to the right, but good signs. Brad Seymour started off pretty well, running from down back. Stewie Maxfield on the bench there, as we said, he seems to have started off pretty well. Obviously, Rodney just giving a bit of a rest at this stage.
King to Blakey, good kick, and they got it outside 50. What a remarkable player Johnny Blakey has been. Kicks to centre wing to Grant. Shannon Grant pushing forward. 304 games today. He's up where Russell Green is, in the top 30 of all time now.
He's interesting, Johnny, isn't he? A little bit the same body type as a Michael Tuck. You know, doesn't carry a lot of weight, very fit, can play in a number of different positions. His form has been pretty good early in the year. There's no reason why he can't go on and play 20 or 30 more games.
Burton, and getting over the back, Fitzgerald. O'Loughlin, a bit awkward there. Abraham, well done again, Seymour. Didn't give the free kick away. Crouch, O'Loughlin has been busy. He's been one of the best on the ground in the opening term. Nix finds his target in Leo Barry. So the Swans are finishing the term off pretty well after the Kangas had the best of it in the middle. Up and under, big fly coming from the back, Fitzgerald. Allison, clever. Now got him running down. Pickett, no, Allison's kick is effective, is it? Oh, it took the wrong break. Gee, Pickett was after him, and I think Allison might have felt who was coming.
It was a great chase, wasn't it? You could see Allison, his eyes lit up, and well done, Byron Pickett. Really chased him down, but just shows you the pace of Allison at 31 or 32 years old. He nearly got away. Probably didn't need to take that bounce, and maybe if he didn't, he would have been able to kick a goal from that position.
King in short. So the Swans with a narrow lead here, but time for the Kangaroos, and Simpson, it's out of play.
There's certainly some fascinating duels. I'm really fascinated by the Wayne Carey. Wayne looks like now Troy Luff's actually picked him up. So it looks like Darren Krez was going to the forward line, and Troy Luff's now picking up Wayne Carey.
So Stafford and McCartney back into centre-half forward. King is going to give off the handball, then a good kick. Now they've got numbers here, the Kangas. Durkay's got the loose man here. It's a Grant. So tries to go back to Pickett. Durkay now matched up a bit, and Pickett now, and a clever kick off the outside of his foot to Durkay, who takes on Fitzgerald and then kicks to Lang. It's a good kick, gives Lang every chance. Unfortunately didn't take the mark. Cowthorpe back. Harvey doesn't miss these too often. Hooks it back and kicks his second goal for the quarter. Does he? No. Gee, Harvey celebrated and I was going with him. Can't believe it.
I think some of the Kangaroos players thought it was through too, but really good use of the ball. The critical contest was on the wing. It was a 2-on-1 against the Sydney Swans, and the Kangaroos boys held the ball up. We watched the kick-outs here. Looks like Benny Matthews kicking out. You can see at home what he's looking at. There's not too much on offer at the moment. Probably better just to go long in this case, get it away from goal as far as he can.
Well, it was a good kick, wasn't it? Because Dunkley pinpointed him outside 50 and found him. Now Dunkley's got Wharf, and that's a good kick from Dunkley. He has improved his kicking over the years. Wharf took his man on. He's done it cleverly in the end, and then kicks right to the square. Big fly, Stafford at the back, and also Fitzgerald, and the ball out of play in the left forward pocket.
Yeah, good build-up from the Sydney Swans. Firstly, he called it a very good kick from Benny Matthews. Didn't look like there was a lot on it. Just a cool head. Kicked it down to Andrew, who's a very good mark and very skillful, as you said, Bruce, Andrew Dunkley. Just pinpointed Wharfie out in the wing. Looked like Rowan made a meal of it, but in the end out of bounds.
Bouncing ball, Allison, Stafford, he's good in these situations. Hooks it back, that's going to be very, very close. Carey was back there with Simpson and Goods and belted through from behind. So what's your feeling on Carey? Will at some stage he played centre-half forward today, or do you think this is the role for him today?
Look, I think at some stage he will, but look, I think this is a real positive for the Kangaroos. Carey's been such a workhorse over the year, and it is a very difficult position to play at centre-half forward, particularly if everyone's saying his shoulder was a little bit wonky. Just get him out on the ground. He's an inspirational player, and basically I just let him go wherever he wants.
Gee, Luff was really good there, getting the handball off. Kick inboard from Saddington, and the free kick against the Kangas, and Schloss has got it. Maybe 5 metres too far out for him. Quickly goes on, and Barry inside 50, or right on the 50 when he takes the kick. Again, this will test him, won't it?
Yeah, Leo Barry's a very good kick, but this might be just outside, depending on the wind, and maybe Plugger will give us a bit of an idea if this is kickable or not.
Yeah, look, this will test him. I think he's just kicking into a slight cross breeze, and he's decided to opt for a short pass to Benny Matthews, and not that it's going to be much advantage there, but he probably is going to be 5 to 10 metres a little bit closer to goal.
They've snuck up on it really when you look at it, from Schwass to centre-half forward, to Barry, to Matthews. They've probably got 15 metres out of it, haven't they?
Yeah, I still think Benny might be out of his range a little bit. Probably needs another little kick, maybe another 10 metres on forward.
Well, I'll back him here, Roosie. Let's see how we go.
Good on you, Plugger. Well, there you go. You owe Roosie whatever you want to put on.
I won't be saying it anymore.
And the hook back by Fitzgerald has kicked a remarkable goal on the siren. What about that to finish the first quarter?
Yeah, that was come out of nowhere, that goal, didn't it? We were discussing the Swans players. They chipped it around 50 metres. Benny Matthews kicked it in long, and a great effort. If we watch that here,
Terrific. Plugger, what does that do for a team right on quarter time when a remarkable goal is kicked like that?
Yeah, well, it's just come out of nowhere, Bruce, and I'm sure everyone at the Swans and all the supporters will be very happy with that one. I think it was Ryan Fitzgerald who kicked it.
It was.
And certainly a much-needed goal for the Swans. But it's going to be a very close match and should go right to the wire.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, Plugger. This has all the ingredients of being nip and tuck throughout the day. And from a coaching point of view, it's really interesting to see what Rodney Eade and Dennis Pagan are doing. Both top-line coaches. Pagan, arguably the coach of the decade in the 90s. He had some opposition with Malthouse and Blighty and a couple of others. Good kick by Stafford. There's a terrific build-up. And O'Loughlin's got it. And Mickey's going to go short to Barry. That's not good play. It was a poor kick. And Simpson gets away. Interesting that O'Loughlin wouldn't take the shot from 45. Goes inboard, gets it back to Stevens. Stevens has run out of time in the end, but not ideas. Goes back to Luff. Luff squaring. He had 4 players he could go to, and the Swans are back to square one, aren't they?
They were queuing up there to get in the middle of the ground, but Mickey O'Loughlin probably should have had a shot from 40 out. Leo Barry was a bit closer, but in the end, it was a poor decision from Mickey O'Loughlin. Stafford's
going to go to Fitzgerald. Gee, it got through both the Kangaroos players, including Archer, and I think Fitzgerald got a shock. And Sydney have done poorly, I think, here in terms of getting something for a very good build-up.
Yeah, they got the ball down there quickly, and as I said to Mickey O'Loughlin, even in that case there, I think you called it, Ryan Fitzgerald looked a bit shocked that the ball didn't get through the 2 defenders' hands. Sure, ball doesn't get far, and then Shannon Grant belts it forward. Big fly from Crouch at the back, no free kick to Harvey. Matthews, been very impressive, Matthews. Good hands from Crouch. Seymour to Schwabel. They're using their players effectively here. Across to Creswell. Creswell's sort of floaty kick, not good. Blakey cuts it off to Bell. A lot of good players out there today. When you think about who we're talking about. Lang at centre wing, young gun for the Kangas. Loads it up. He can kick a long way, this fellow. Doesn't get it. I think the wind got hold of it a bit. War front spot. McKernan's handball ineffective in the end. Matthews, terrific little touch there. He gave it to O'Loughlin, and O'Loughlin's probing handball to Luff. Luff turned around, holding the ball. Yeah, well done, Brent Harvey. Swans seem to be getting numbers back in defence at this stage. Haven't got them here though, Paul, just for that moment, because it was all the Kangas, and Lang can really kick a football. This won't worry him the distance. He's inside 50. Yeah, what you'll find that case before, when Troy Luff picked up that ball and ran with it, all the Swans defenders ran off, and then all of a sudden Troy Luff got tackled, the ball was turned over. As you said there, 3 against 1. Brad Seymour tried to make the spoil, and Adam Lang will be lining up for goal. He's kicked 5 goals in the 4 games so far, so he has been a very valuable player. He's a long kick, he's 50 metres out, and that's a beauty, straight through the middle. You see a lot of players, Paul, over the year. There's no doubt this young bloke is going to be a very important player for a long time for the Kangaroos. Yeah, he's been outstanding. I thought he was terrific last week. Just see here, Troy Luck just hangs onto the ball just a little bit longer than he should have. And all the Swans players that run forward, we see 3 Kangaroos guys. Clayton, I think it was Abrahams, and Lang. And Lang has been particularly impressive since he's gone up forward, and he's kicked his first goal for the day. Kangas on the interchange with Watt and Kingsley and Rawlings and young Makepeace, who made his debut last week. Didn't get a whole lot of on-field time. Stafford, Creswell and Carey. Well, that was that match-up early. Carey's had the best of it, though Creswell's also done his bits. Luff to O'Loughlin, who's as good as anyone on the ground, I think, to date. Though he made a poor choice early in this quarter. He wants Leo Barry by hook or by crook, doesn't he, today? Nix. Schwass, well done Schwass, that was terrific, but the tackle was wonderful from Pickett. He is so quick, he's cat-like, and the tackling from both teams is impressive here. Luff belts it out to Creswell. Creswell instinctively goes to Seymour, wants O'Loughlin or Allison, and finds Allison. Yeah, great passage of play. Firstly, a terrific tackle by Pickett, I think it was, and then a great one by Luff, and a very good sweeping handball wide where a number of Swans players were on the end of it. Oh, another poor decision from the Sydney Swans. To Nix. Nix has had to work it hard. Pickett. Nix holds him up. No free kick. Goes to the pocket. The Swans have really made a mess of this. Barry. They've pushed forward, though, and they might get out of it. No. Going forward, McCartney. Bell. Well, I thought it was a reasonable tackle, to be honest, from Fitzgerald. Bell was going forward.
but anyway, it's in the bag.
I'll tell you what, the coach will be going berserk up in the coach's box. That's enough to turn the old hair grey. Those last two forward thrusts by the Sydney Swans, just wasting the ball a little bit. On both occasions, the kicker was within distance, Brett Allison, and the time before that, Michael O'Loughlin. And just a 10-yard kick that doesn't really give you that much advantage. And both times the ball was turned over.
And Bruce, Dennis Pagan's just come down to the dugout. I think they've got a bit of trouble with their microphone, so I think he's going to do a bit of coaching off the boundary here.
Gee, that's interesting, Plugger, because a couple of weeks ago in a big game at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, he lost contact with the interchange bench through the phone, and well, he'll be. That's a real disadvantage for him having to come down.
I think that's happened 2 or 3 times this year to the Kangaroos. So there may be someone going around Australia sabotaging their equipment.
Well, it's their home game. You reckon Rodney Eade would have to shift over and let him have the phone, wouldn't you? Carey. Now Allison. He's got Luff outside. Oh, Allison's overrun it. So Brett Allison's having a bit of a poor start to this second quarter. And a free kick here going to the Swans against Martin Pike. When we get a second plug, I'm going to ask you about the Swans build-up forward here. I mean, you might have a chance here. They're really not sure the way they're going forward at the moment, are they?
Yeah, look, a couple of times we've seen early on Michael O'Loughlin ducked the pass. I believe he should have went back and had a shot then. And then also...
Allison.
Yeah, from the other pocket, Bruce. And I think when you've really got those chances, you've really got to make the most of them. And I'm sure Rodney would be a little bit disappointed that wrong decisions were made. At the end of the day, if this is a close game, you can look back at these types of mistakes and really they do cost you. I think them type of shots, when players are in their range, they should be going back and having a shot.
Kick it to Blakey. Blakey away. We've seen some very poor kicks in this quarter to the right of screen. I do wonder about the strength of the breeze. McKernan. Matthews working towards the line. He's gang tackled. It's out of play. Plugger, just a quickie on the breeze. Even Saddington's kick was a poor one there.
Yeah, it was a poor kick, and we've seen it for the first quarter and also the start of this quarter, Bruce. There is quite a bit of breeze here, but it certainly has picked up from the first bounce at 10 past 2. It certainly is blowing a little bit more than what it was at the start of the game.
Has either team got an advantage at one way or the other with the breeze?
Well, it seems to be swirling a bit, Bruce. But if you look at the flags up on top of the grandstand, you get a different picture from what you do down here. It actually seems like it's going the opposite way. So the breeze seems to be swirling around a bit and just creating a little bit of havoc amongst the players' skills.
Crouch to Saddington, so again a promising build-up. And again they go short and Seymour finds it. So Seymour's presented himself a couple of times forward today, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've liked his run in his game so far. Pushing down forward, he had a shot in the first quarter. Adam Goods, though, yet to touch the football. That's got to be a concern for Rodney Eade. He started off the season so well. But as you said here, Jason Saddington, and I guess the execution was good, so if Brad puts it through, he makes Jason look $1 million.
It was an emergency part of the match. Jason Ball dropped out. You wonder if you get stung a bit too and really stung into action. When that happens, gee, he's kicked it all right, hasn't he? It's a goal. Well, it's a funny game, footy. I mean, it's like everything else. It's a mental game. I reckon Seymour today has thought, well, I've got a second chance here. I'm going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, look, he's had 7 possessions. He's kicked 1 goal, and he's certainly been very creative. What I've liked about Brad, it's been a good mix today. Sometimes he does get a little bit too far forward. Maybe sometimes gets a little bit lost, but he's been right on his man when his man's been being able to be used by his teammates coming in, and he's been able to push forward and had 2 shots for goal, resulting in 1 goal, 1 so far.
Swans warming up. Nick Fosdyke and Jude Bolton, a couple of the youngsters, be really keen to get out there. 6-6 to 5-2. So Seymour named as an emergency and looks as if he's really taking his chance. O'Loughlin has been terrific. To Schwasser, he could goal. He's 50 out, unloads, terrific stuff. Gee, you love to see that, don't you?
That's just bread and butter for Wayne Swash. That we just see a classic classic ball up in the centre bounce. In the first quarter, it was 7-2 going the Kangaroos' way. Very, very critical of ball-ups here. Michael O'Loughlin, who's had the ball 14 times already. Wayne Swash, and that's his distance, right on 50 metres. And he's a beautiful finisher from that distance. And that's 2 goals in a row and a little bit of a sneaky break for the Swans.
7-6, 5-2. McKernan in the centre square now. Carey's gone to centre half forward, by the way, for the Kangas, being picked up by Schwabel. Saddington's kick. Swans have actually had the best of this quarter. They wasted a few earlier. Now they've got a couple in a row. Pike gets it from Clayton and kicks to McKernan. Wharf was good. McKernan, though, got hold of it and then belts it with a long bomb to the goal square. Lang and Dunkley. That was a very good kick from McKernan, way outside 50 to get it so far.
Yeah, that was a beautiful kick. You did mention Wayne Carey going to centre forward. It's interesting, Rodney Eade has left Shawball onto Carey rather than bringing Andrew Dunkley out from the key defensive post.
Swans just had to wait until the goal umpire cleared the flags, goes short to Stevens, so they haven't quite got it where they want it. The next one's important now, isn't it? To find the target with this kick. Now, Goods, this is the first time he's touched it. Plugger did a preview for the match on the big screen, as he always does here, and Goods was one man he mentioned about having to have an impact today.
It's interesting, Wayne Carey's just sitting back there. Let's just see if it goes straight to him there.
Clayton, Wharf, good contest, and Creswell in the box seat. He knows he's got Carey chasing hard, and he stretched him out a bit. Not a great kick, but there was an awkward one from McCartney. Big spider back there. This is a big tackle from Luff. McCartney was good and got it out to Grant. And now here's danger. Durkhe's got Blakey, and he's got down the ground. Makepeace short, decides to go in, and Lang's going to be his target, or Bell. Not really good play, I don't think, in the end. And the handball out to Pike. Now Pike loads up hard. Matthews in the box seat. McKernan, well done, Matthews.
Yeah, terrific mark, Matthews, with Corey McKernan. Well done by Jason McCartney right down back to start that play for the Kangaroos. Really needed the quick handball. He got the ball out and started the Kangaroos attack from half back.
Swans are on here because Armac can go to Wharf, and Wharf can look up and have a run, which he likes to do. He takes one bounce. Grant's chasing hard. He's 55 metres out, loads it up. Fitzgerald and Luff, no crummers. Carey back. She's everywhere today. Carey finds the line.
Yeah, just a bad decision. There's 3 Swans players were about 40 yards out screaming for the football. Just a bit of a bad decision. Wayne Carey, 7 kicks so far. Looks like he might even be back on the ball. So they're certainly testing out that osteopubis that he had earlier in the week.
We almost wonder, Stafford at the back, then Clayton, Creswell onto him. Go back to what I was about to say in a moment. Abraham, still with Winnie, goes back inboard, and he's run out of bounds. You just wonder sometimes, I mean, there's such a relationship between Dennis Pagan and Wayne Carey that sometimes Wayne, I think when he thinks they're in trouble, just puts himself into where the play is.
Yeah, I made the comment in the first quarter. I think with a fellow like Wayne Carey, who's been a little bit of an injury cloud, had a lot of injuries over the years as far as the crash and bash and playing centre forward. Just get him out in the ground and let him do what he's doing now. If he wants to go forward, let him go forward. If he wants to go back, and I think it's a very good way they're using him at the moment.
I'm sure that it was all worked out at the start of the game, but at this very point in the match, Carey's probably said to himself, I'm going down back for 5 minutes.
Yeah, look, I think so. And looks like Troy Luff's playing on him, and looks now Carey's actually gone back to centre half back. So he's certainly ruck row, centre half forward, centre half back has been all over the place. 7-6-5-3. It is a critical point for the Kangaroos here because the Swans could take a little bit of a grip on the game. Schwartz, good play by Adam Goods, and the left foot is a beauty to Barry. Abraham, it's good that Abraham didn't commit there because Barry wanted to get away. O'Loughlin, that's a free kick against Johnny Blakey. Yeah, it just looked a little bit high there, didn't he? The kick just held up a tad. Mickey O'Loughlin coming on a lead there. Blakey was there, but just a bit crude above the shoulder.
Now, Plugger, you and Paul know O'Loughlin so well. Is this about the maximum range for him, do you think, Plugger?
Well, it's a bit hard to tell from where I'm sitting, Bruce.
He's about 50 out.
Yeah, well, this would be maximum from Mickey O'Loughlin, but this is what the kick I'm talking about, Bruce. He is in range. He can make the distance here, and I reckon he's doing the right thing by going back and having a shot here.
Kicks on 50. Now, he's going to put it to the front of the square at least. Big fly from Stafford. Well done, McCartney. Archer read it best, and then kicks to Shannon Ground. It'll be a contest. Seymour, still Seymour, did well, and the Swans have got a chance. Armac to Luff. Luff 40 out. Well done. Pat Nick's very short. I'm not sure if it went 10 metres, but it went maybe just enough.
I think it was 10 metres and 1 centimetre. But well done by Twillup. I think if he had a shot in that case, there would have been pressure coming from the Kangaroos. He was very quick to get from the ball from hand to foot, and just a 10-metre, 1 centimetre kick to Matthew Nicks.
Swans right on top, aren't they, at the moment? And if Nicks can kick this, I'll get a good lead on the board. He likes it. They've pinched a break, haven't they?
Yeah, look, they are on top all over the ground at the moment. Kangaroos, Dennis Pagan up there in the box may have to make a couple of changes because certainly their midfielders, Adam Goods, I mentioned he was quiet. He's gone onto the ruck or onto the wing, looks like. A couple of good quick handballs, and that's really what set that up there. Troy Luff, just a good decision. 10-metre kick, and Matthew Nicks, another defender, pushing forward and finishes from about 35 out.
Well, there are plenty of Swan supporters here. Not many as they normally get for a home game. That man's here everywhere. Interesting, they've kicked the last 3 goals. They've got them from Seymour, Schwass and Nix. Unusual areas to get their goals from.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of run in the Sydney game at the moment, both from the midfielders and the defenders.
Well, Schwass and O'Loughlin are cutting them up, aren't they? And now suddenly Goods is ignited. He may load up. It's a poor kick off the boot, but it gets right to the spot. Well played, McCartney, because Armat was onto it. Then Matthews. Well, Fitzgerald kicks these, and he's kicked another one, and the Swans are away.
Yeah, well done by Jason McCartney. Gee, he was just left out on a bit of a limb there, wasn't he? He did the right thing. He got in front there, put his body on the line, was tackled from behind, got the ball out. As we see here, Adam Goods, who's made a difference in the last 5 minutes. He's had 3 or 4 quick possessions. But watch here, Jason McCartney did a terrific effort here. Gets the ball out to a teammate. Just a little bit slow. 4 or 5 Sydney Swans fellas around, and the goal results.
Schwass 12 possessions and O'Loughlin 16.
Yeah, O'Loughlin's been outstanding with 16 possessions. And Wayne Schwass, just some critical takeaways from the centre. There we see Winston Abraham, who's sitting on the bench. But there's a little bit of worrying signs at the moment for the Kangaroos.
Well, it's a 4.5 goal game now. They've got to get the next one, you'd think. Blakey building inside. Oh, huge fly coming. In fact, in the end, Carey's been paid. 4th in line. It was a mighty mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, Carey's gone down to full forward at the moment. It looked like Matthew Nix, I think it was, had that covered, and Carey came in about 3rd or 4th deep. And this is what Wayne Carey can do. They've had the luxury of him playing around the ground. But once again, a quick centre clearance. There goes Matthew Nix up high, but just mistimed it. And here comes Carey for kick for goal.
Well, real captain's kick, really, from 50. Not easy. He's kicked it very, very strongly, but he has, like Shannon Grant, hit the post. So 2 posters to the Kangaroos in this opening half.
It is interesting, Plugger, down there. It just seems the last few kicks for goals, some have dropped short, some have gone right. Is it a little bit perhaps more swirly than it looks from up here?
Yeah, I commented on that before, Roosie. The wind is sort of, it blows for 5 minutes and then it seems to sort of ease off a bit, but it is very swirly. And as you can see, it just it's interrupting the kicks a fair bit, and the players are having trouble controlling their passing.
I think Crouch saw it was Burton and fancied himself there, and kicks inside. And that's no free kick to Matthews. Pickett, Pike, Pickett in close, good stuff by the Kangaroos. And then he arches his back. Geez, confident. He takes 2 in heavy traffic and then belts it down high to centre half forward. Lang made a very good contest of it, Carey-like, and then whips it back to centre half forward. Schwass was going to go off the ground, decided not to. Took a hip and shoulder. Good play to Wolf. So rebound footy at both ends of the ground. Goods outnumbered. Oh, Carey misjudges one. Doesn't do that too often. He had a good feel for it, though. Simpson kicks back into the corridor, and Harvey takes the mark.
I think Archer's gone forward too, Bruce. Looks like Carey's back on the ball again, and Archer may have gone forward.
Poor kick really from Harvey, wasn't it? Because the Swans had it all there.
Yeah, look, that's their game plan. And when it's not working, it's very predictable, and the Swans at the moment really getting numbers back into that dangerous zone.
Nick short. Creswell will go to him, I think. He does. Now, Nick's will have to be careful. There's 3 around him. Finds some space, and now Luff's in the box seat. Out the back, punched away from Pike. Carey has to search for it. Armand in. Barry needs a quick handball. He finds it. Terrific stuff. Luff kicks and misses.
Well done by Robbie Armand. Just got a little tap. Wayne Carey got a bit of an ordinary bounce. The ball hit the deck and just bounced straight up in the air. And Robbie Armand got a nice little deflection. And probably in the end, Troy Luff could have straightened up there instead of kicking it around his body. Probably could have straightened up. Had about 10 metres on his opponent. Should have kicked the goal from that position.
Bolton getting ready. Luff, he's a real cult figure, but finesse is not really his game, is it? I mean, he brings a lot to a team, but that's probably not one attribute.
He's been pretty good. He's had 9 possessions already, Troy Luff.
It's done well so far. Carey to Archer. Archer belts to Lang. Lang becoming a real focal point. Saddington's height was effective. Quick kick from Makepeace is a good one. And McKernan surely will kick a goal, and he does. Well done, Makepeace.
Yeah, look, they really needed that goal, didn't they? The Swans had just spread them by about 3 or 4. And Carey, as I said earlier, looks like he's able to dictate terms. If he wants to go forward, he can. He was on the end of that kick out, started that move to Archer. And you called it. Lang looks like he's the real target up here. A very good contest from the young fella. Rather than just going for the mark, where he would have been 2 against 1, he brought the ball to ground, and Corey McKernan finished off in pretty easy fashion. A little bit a la Pagan's Paddock in that particular forward thrust.
Important goal there to the Kangas. McKernan's got a couple. Makepeace getting an early touch. 6-4 to 9-7. Still plenty of time to go in this first half. Stafford, Schwass terrific. To Creswell getting plenty of it. Saddington. That's been lively today. He's outside 50. Creswell's running outside for him. Luff, he's going to bang to Bolton, I think, or Fitzgerald. Bolton's in the box seat, read it beautifully, strolls in and kicks a goal.
Yeah, well done by Jude Bolton. I'll tell you what he did, he summed up the situation absolutely perfectly. The ball was kicked in on the diagonal, and even though we probably thought up in the box here that Jude was going to go for the mark, he actually saw Fitzgerald out the corner of his eye and thought, well, I'll let the big fella go for the fly. Pike was sucked into the contest there. Bolton stayed down, took an easy mark, ran in, and that was very, very smart play. Good awareness from a young player.
He's a good young player, isn't he? He showed a lot last year. It's his first chance this season. Just 20. He played 10 games in 99, debuted late in the year, and went on with it. So the Swans with a real edge here over the Kangas in general play and now on the board. High ball, oh, Archer, big fly, couldn't take the mark, and again Swans have got numbers. Luff inside, Armac looked to have a high tackle, no free kick. Well done, King, away to Bell, and Bell chips it to Grant. Grant takes the mark at half-back. They'll build. Bell's inside, decides not to go to him, he goes to Lang. He's only played, it's his 10th game, Lang. He's really going to be so important. He's going to help Carey out, that's for sure. In fact, he finds the King, who was touched in transit, no mark. Well, free kick here, that's bad play by the Swans, because I think McKernan might be getting this against Dunkley.
Yeah, they can't afford to give away those free kicks. I'm not sure. Looks like Spider Burton's off the ground. This is not outside Carey's distance. Depending on the wind, as Plugger said before, if it's swirling, but certainly not outside his distance here.
Saw Matthew Burton a moment ago on the interchange. Carey hit the post from maybe a metre or two closer in than this. I think he'll get the distance. He's going to kick from 54 metres. He's wound it up and he's hooked it. And it's another behind.
Yeah, well, Sydney seem to be pretty well dominating the game at the moment. They've been inside their 50, 33 to 20. As we see, is that Troy Luff on the phone there? You can't, believe me, he's not ordering a pizza either, Bruce. He'll be getting a nice old spray for something. But Sydney kicks 92 to 71 and Sydney handballs 59 to 39. So statistics would suggest that they are dominating the game at the moment.
Barry to Shawball. Shawball inside to Stevens. Stevens short. Good build up to Wharf. Fosdyke's come on the ground. Now, Seymour's really wide out where we are, but probably, well, he's going to come to him. He's used him. Now, Carey lurking. Seymour at about 60 metres. It is a different Seymour today, isn't it?
Yeah, he certainly looks very lively and he's been terrific.
Fosdyke the target, and he's got him, I think. And the ball, Fosdyke, the son may have hurt him there. First touch, that's disappointing for the kid.
It is disappointing, and I could see from the moment actually Brad kicked that ball, you could tell Nick Fosdyke didn't have a clue where it was, and obviously the sun is a real factor in that case.
Right half forward, Swans attacking. On top, Kangaroos probably wanting one more just to tighten it up before half time. They'll probably take 3 or 4 if they could get them. Blakey's kick off the side in the danger area. It was a good contest between McKernan and Stafford. Well done, Bell. Chipping out, wanted Carey, I think, but Harvey chipped in. The Pagans paddock in vogue here because there's no one forward of centre really for the Kangaroos. That's what confronts Carey. He turns Schwass inside out. He's playing a big first half. Wobbly kick. Makepeace's got a bad bounce. McKernan, good punch on. Then held up there. Everything seemed to stop. And then Makepeace is kicked to the goal square and behind. So a few points coming here for the Kangaroos late.
Now, Wayne Carey's had it 13 times and is playing a terrific game. But one of the problems with Dennis Pagans, if there is a problem, they've won 2 flags. But when Carey's not playing at centre half forward and they do continually bomb it long, there's really no one there to take those big contested marks.
Well, I guess Lang and McKernan gives them options. They can switch them around. But McKernan, with Burton struggling on the ball, has been used on the ball at the moment.
Yeah, McKernan's only had it 4 times. He has kicked 2 goals, but he really needs to lift his game and do more up the forward line.
Seymour goes long. Wolf was a good contest against Carey. Then King did very well. And then a good kick to Harvey, who loves to burst on. Blazes a bit. Shawball gets back. Now he's got Crouch short. But he goes to Stevens. I think it was a good play because Pickett was lurking and Stevens has to stretch himself, and that was a good kick actually in the end by Stevens because he had Kangaroos about 30 metres in front. Goods has got O'Loughlin. Can it get to him? It does. And it's a terrific mark. I mean, Mickey wants to turn Blake the inside out, but he can't quite do it. And he goes to Fosdyke. Better side for him this time. Fosdyke's got it in the pocket. He's going to measure it. Misses. Should have done better, really.
Yeah, he had time, and I guess in that case for a young fella, probably what was going through his mind is, will I kick it to the top of the square or will I have a shot? He was hard up against the boundary line, but gee, he's getting clear, isn't he? It's the second time Fosdyke's been about 20 metres from his opponent.
O'Loughlin continues to impress today, doesn't he?
He's had it 17 times already, and we're not even at half-time.
Pickett short to Brady Rawlings, who's come on, just 18 years of age, so he's the youngest player out there. Loads it up a bit, and he wants Carey and a Dunkley, and Carey's got it. So we've got the match-up now, and again he takes one at 50 and quickly goes on to Grant. Well, if O'Loughlin's arguably the best man for the Swans, and Carey certainly is standing tall for the Kangaroos in this first half.
But there was the difference there, Bruce, going forward. When Carey's playing on the ball down back, if the ball's bombed long, there's no one to take the mark. But in that case, all of a sudden the ball comes down, long bomb, and a contested mark to Wayne Carey, as we've seen him do many, many times over the years.
Hit the post, Shannon Grant, in the opening turn. They need a goal here, and he's kicked it very, very well, and he's kicked a goal.
Yeah, that's a good finish from Shannon Grant, and they really needed that goal. The Swans were absolutely dominating this half, I believe, and probably the Kangaroos can consider themselves reasonably lucky. But watch this, contested mark, Wayne Carey, which we see him do but also he's taken the mark, had the presence of mind to spot up Shannon Grant, and this is what Shannon Grant needs to do. He's a very good finisher, playing on the wing, but just to push forward, and it was a very important goal for the Kangaroos to get right back in this game.
Shannon Grant's got, gee, the forward setup's interesting here. It's a real Pagan's paddock now with Carey on his own at centre half forward and no one behind him.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Brad Seymour, I think it is, has dropped as a 2-on-1, so you've got Dunkley and Seymour playing on Carey.
Now Rawlings, and they should load up and go to the square here. That's the idea. Get it over the back of Carey. They're unable to do it. Maxfield run down, good tackle, but did very well to Schwass, to Shawbull. Shawbull out to Armat. They played together at Collingwood. And slipped it too far for him in a boundary throw-in.
Darren Creswell just spending a couple of minutes on the bench here too, Bruce.
Plug a big change in the way they're setting the forward line up, the Kangaroos, with Carey basically going one out.
Well, Carey's been everywhere bar on the bench today, Bruce. He's been forward, back, he's been in the middle, and he's playing fantastic. So he's really what the Kangaroos need now. If he can take a couple of marks and kick a couple of goals before half-time and put the Kangaroos back in the game.
Saw Goods a moment ago. 10-8 to 7-6.
And once again we see Brad Seymour basically standing in front of Wayne Carey. It's definitely a 2-on-1 down there. Dunkley's on one side and Seymour's on the other.
Big kick towards Carey. Harvey roved it well and then loads up. And again, bouncing ball, difficult here. Chance here, Pike running onto it. Bolton did well, and then under the gun, and Carey's going to kick a goal from nowhere.
Yeah, look, just in that case, it might be a little bit hard on the young fella, but you've just got to get it through the goals in that case. Wayne Carey has had 14 kicks, 1 handball, 7 marks, and 1 goal too. But Jude Bolton, probably all he needs to do, it's a shocking bounce there for Adam Goods, but just punch it through the goals. Don't take any risk whatsoever. There was 3 or 4 Sydney Swans fellas around. Get it through the goals and just kick it out. But the Sydney Swans, just let the Kangaroos back in the game, 10-8 to 8-6.
They certainly have.
There's Jude Bolton just on the phone once again, getting instructions from Rodney Eade, probably in relation to just getting that ball through the goal square.
Gee, a big couple of minutes here for the Kangas, hasn't it? They've really got back in. Luff's kick to half forward. Fitzgerald, Fosdyke outnumbered. King's handball effective. Bell playing across half back for the moment, gets it to Pike. 54 to 68. Jared Healy's just walked into the box. He did Sports World this morning, and I think might be on his way to Adelaide tonight. And he's just written down any chance of the Swans going long into the forward line, Roosy.
Yeah, they are certainly kicking it short, and that's interesting. The difference in the game plan. The Swans have the most short kicks in the competition, and the Kangaroos have the most long kicks in the competition. So it is a contrasting game of styles.
Gee, late goal here would be really handy for the Swans. because in many ways the Kangas are going to have momentum at half-time. O'Loughlin, well, he has been outstanding. If Carey and O'Loughlin have been the two great players on the ground, short to Fosdyke, got him. This may be the last big play of the opening half.
Club doctor out with Andrew Dunkley at the moment too, Bruce.
He's coming off two plugger as you speak. So right on half-time, Dunkley coming from the ground. And Fosdyke's going to have the last shot. I've been to a lot of games this year where goals have been kicked on the siren. Oh, the quarter-time, half-time, we saw last weekend here, didn't we? Where it happened just about in every quarter.
And I like the way he just stopped there when the siren went, go back and just take your time.
He's a skillful player. This is a difficult kick. And he hasn't made it. And it's a behind. So 10-9 to 8-6 here at half-time.
It's interesting, you mentioned the momentum there, Bruce. The Kangaroos probably will go in the half-time with the momentum. The Swans pretty well dominated all but about 5 or 6 minutes of that quarter.
Melbourne 12, so I think the Swans really would look at that quarter and say, well, we really should be a little bit further in front than what we are, but look, it's a good lead and let's build on it from here.
Yep, 2.5 goals the margin, and these close matches between the two teams, there's a good chance they will continue today. Carey starting forward and Dunkley on him. So Dunkley, who left the ground just before half-time, seems to be okay. Blakey Belts back in. Carey launches. Barry got back for the Swans. King chasing hard, real goal kicker. And kicks wide to McKernan and finds it. Well, no, he didn't take the mark, and that could be costly. And Stafford's away. That's a big turnover, isn't it?
That's a big turnover. And Corey McKern's one that's really got a lift. He's only had the ball 4 times in that first half. That's a good kick from Greg Stafford. But he is one player for the Kangaroos that does need to lift. Had the ball 4 times. Now, for a guy that his size and his ability, he's got to do more in the second half.
10-9-8-6. Warm day in Sydney. Not a big crowd, probably between 15 and 18,000. And the Swans with a handy little break, but certainly not enough to feel comfortable about, particularly against this team that can come home so hard. Burton got it from Harvey to Lang. Lang tries to turn his man. It's a good tackle. Crouch got him, and Durko ran out of ideas, and I think room in the end. He was outnumbered. Shawball's been okay. Crouch arches himself and then runs hard, and then again a Stafford-like kick, and he wants the line. Good play.
Gee, he did well in that instance back there, Bruce. Jared Crouch made 2 tackles. He probably made a poor decision with his early handball, but then made 2 tackles, got up off the ground, received the ball from Andrew Shaw and kicked the ball over the boundary line. Well done, Jared Crouch.
Luff and McCartney. McCartney with a bit of strength, but Luff got his hand in and a boundary throw in.
Now, the reason why Troy Luff and Jason McCartney doing the boundary throw-ups, it looks like Burton and Stafford are going one-on-one. They're standing right in the middle of the ground, locked together. So you might see some interesting boundary throw-ins and ruck contests around the ground.
So again, Luff winning it, but down to Pickett. Pickett back inboard to Bell. Bell with a torpedo punt, carried Carey. Wolf just got the punch in away from Abraham. Harvey against the line. Good kick inside to give Carey half a chance. In front, Crouch. Brilliant football by Crouch to Stevens. That was wonderful to Maxfield. Now, he's got Creswell out wide. He did well, Maxfield, because he knew he probably had to get it on in a hurry. Now, Armat runs. Can they develop something here? Creswell's kicked to a half contest. That was poor play, Creswell, because he had Armat loose in the end, because Clayton committed himself. Swans with numbers. Saddington. Saddington again misses a target up forward in Barry. Allison in the one-on-one situation. Armat's got the pace. McCartney. Luff. Surely the Swans will get a goal. No, they won't in the end. And I reckon the Kangas will be very happy to get out of all of that.
Yeah, well done in the end by the Kangaroos. Certainly all over the ground. Darren Creswell probably should have given the handball to Robbie Armat, but then it went inside in the dangerous area. Certainly the Swans had the numbers. Well done by the Kangaroos defenders. Just throw themselves on the ball and a resulting ball up.
Bounce to McCartney to King. Gets away. Kicks out wide to Grant. Pretty good first half, Grant. He's got Stevens with him. Hooks it back inside to about 70 metres. And Carey and Dunkley. That great contest. I guess if Jakovic has been Carey's greatest opponent in the last 6 or 7 years, Dunkley's not too far behind him.
Yeah, they certainly had some great duels. It's interesting, Wayne Carey now just starting up at full forward. Looks like McKernan starting at centre forward. Andrew Shawball's taking him. So a bit more of a conventional start to the second half by the Kangaroos.
McKernan and Barry. Gee, you'd fancy McKernan here. Went over the top of both of them. Swans a little undecided for a moment. Then Barry uses some pace to get away from Grant. and kicks the ball into the centre. This is an important play. Archer will try and work Saddington underneath. Nick's read it well. Pickett, terrific tackle. Allison with pace, pushes forward. The handball coming back, I think, from Maxfield. I picked no, it was Creswell. Goes back. Creswell's hair's almost Maxfield's colour these days. Little kick inside by Crouch was clever to Stewie. Now Maxfield looks up, normally likes to do something constructive. Arm at the target, got him out wide. Even Armat's got small figures today in terms of stats, but he's been effective.
He has been effective. He does run very hard to the bottom of the pack. Very good at the front and square. It was well done by Stuart Maxfield. He really summed up the situation there. Got back quickly off the mark. A lot of players struggle to get back. Got back quickly and spotted Robbie Armat out of the corner of his eye.
Not an easy kick, but one that the Swans probably need here. They've had so much of the play, and they like it. It's a goal.
It's been a good start to the second half. I think both teams have come out reasonably full of confidence. Darren Creswell's had some pretty important touches early in this quarter. And we see here Jared Crouch has been particularly good early. Good stretching mark, get back. Just for the young people out there, the young kids getting back quickly off the mark so you can give yourself a little bit of space to dispose of the football. And then he made a very good decision, Stuart Maxfield, to kick at the Robbie Armat. And Robbie Armat has been pretty effective and finished off with a good goal there.
Again, a comfortable margin to the Swans. Certainly nothing like a match winning, but Kangaroos 3.5 goals behind here. Burton gets hands on it. Stafford to Barry to Schwass. Gets some time. Then made the right option because the short one was covered. Archer, Saddington, terrific football by Saddington. Then tries to trap it. Creswell off the ground. Goods, still with Goods. Outnumbered. Oh, terrific stuff to Armat, to O'Loughlin. And O'Loughlin kicks a wonderful team goal.
Yeah, look, there's a couple of pretty special pieces of play there, Bruce. Firstly, Wayne Schwass out of the centre. Didn't worry about kicking it short, just got it long into the dangerous area. And once the ball gets down there, when you've got forwards of the capability, Jason Saddington was terrific, yeah. Went back with the fly of the ball, knocked the ball down. But when you've got forwards of the capability, look at that quick handball from Adam Goods. Another one from Robbie Armat, and Mickey O'Loughlin the finish. Pretty dangerous forward set up with those three players on the forward line at the moment for the Sydney Swans.
Interesting now with Carey, isn't he? He's at full forward. He's been so good on the ball and at centre-half back, but I guess in the end you need him to kick goals now in the second half, don't you?
Look, Dennis would love to have two Wayne Careys out there at the moment. There's no question about that.
Clayton back to Bell. So now the Kangas go forward to full forward. Carey getting back. It's going to bounce for him. He's going to kick his second. Speak of him. Speak of the king. He kicks one.
Just the centre clearances there, very important. We saw the time before that. The Sydney Swans were able to get the ball out of the centre via Wayne Schwass. As soon as you get it out of the centre on the SCG, basically the ball's down the 10-yard square. We can see here Peter Bell, who's been fantastic once again today for the Kangaroos, just pumps it in long. Andrew Dunkley just caught under the ball, bounces straight up to Wayne Carey. We've mentioned him about 30 times today, and he's got them back right back in the game again.
If the match stopped now, would you give Carey 3 votes for O'Loughlin?
The Swans are in front. I'd have to go to Mickey O'Loughlin. If the Kangaroos are in front, I'd give it to Wayne Carey.
They've both been outstanding, haven't they? They really have. And again, the centre clearances will tell a tale. Creswell, who Paul mentioned, is getting quite a few touches early. Shawbull got it from Seymour, back to Schwass. It was a good sidestep from Schwass. He wants to laugh. He's got good hands, but McCartney, well, he a bit stiff, I reckon, McCartney. There was a maybe over the shoulder. But
yeah, I thought it was a pretty good effort by Jason McCartney there.
Barry has to sit and wait, but he had 2 metres on Pickett. Now, Stevens wants to get rid of Saddington, so he's short Stevens and on his own. And Barry decides to go to centre-half forward. Stafford goes early against Burton, and Harvey in the right spot. This is where this kick across the ground can really cost you. Durkay's kick to Lang was a bit too much. Carey again attacks hard. Handball over the top to Clayton. Bell running for him here. Has he got the width on the kick or the length? Bell caught underneath. In fact, it went too far. Wharf decided to go the punch away. Schwass in there with Dunkley. Back to Wharf. Wharf, good handball along the line. Maxfield out of play.
Yeah, it was a good handball along the line in the end. Once again, Wayne Carey getting involved. Brent Harvey and Peter Bell have been particularly good players today. Peter Bell's had 19 possessions, and Brent Harvey's played a little bit up forward, but he's been good too. He's had about 13 possessions. So their little players are really getting back into the game.
McKernan, Shawbull, good play McKernan to King. King's kick to the goal square. He kicks to the other King, and he can't quite take the mark. Grant running hard and out of play.
I reckon that Sun, just with that kick coming across from where David King was there, we saw Nick Fosdyke in the second quarter misjudge it. And I really think both Andrew Dunkley and Wayne Carey there lost that ball in the Sun. Carey just putting up one hand in the end. Normally, in that case, he might have been able to mark that football.
Jim McKernan's in the box seat here to take it, and he does. Chauvel got onto him in a hurry. Harvey goes and gets to the pocket. Lang, it's close, it's out of play. And the boundary throw and Harvey kicking away. Just a quickie plug, that Sun in that spot at this time of the day.
Yeah, look, it can get in the players' eyes, Bruce. We've seen already a couple of occasions today. Nick Fosdyke earlier on in the second quarter, and certainly on that occasion, Wayne Carey was certainly looking into the Sun.
12-9 to 9-6, a critical part in this match. It's a real battle at the moment. Crouch towards the line and finds it. Next 10 minutes, either way, isn't it? If the Swans can kick a couple further in front, it could be enough. But if the Kangas can just pinch one back in this tough 10 minutes of footy.
Yeah, look, 3 goals, 3 in favour of Sydney. If they do get the next couple, you would think it's going to be hard to come back from here. So it's a critical contest at the moment.
King just overran it. Schwartz trying to get it out. Carey over the top. Ball hard to find. Burl comes out and then Blazers a bit under pressure.
Geez, he had 2 Kangaroos players. I know it was hard from Peter Bell there. He probably didn't know it was going, but he had 2 Kangaroos players at the top of the square and just really blazed away in that instance.
And Maxfield committed here to go over the mark.
Geez, he hasn't given him much room to kick the football.
It really cuts his options down, doesn't it?
You would think he'd have to take him back here, surely.
It was under the...
He's got no runner.
Yeah, difficult. He's gone the safe option. Oh, good mark, Leo Barry against Corey McKernan.
Gee, he's been lively today, Leo Barry. Came off on a stretcher last week.
Well, at this time in the match, Paul, he was sitting next to Plugger in his civvies, wasn't he? At this stage last week, Creswell on the burst. Now Crouch quickly to Luff, surely. Goes over the top. Luff sits and waits. He's still... Durkay late. Free kick, Luff.
Yeah, had to go there, Durkay. Just a typical one. Troy Luff was always going to mark that ball. He was on the end of a kick. Just watch it here. Probably, yeah, gee, just a little late. Maybe if he hadn't taken him across the noggin, he would have got away with that.
Well, this is a tough kick for Luff, isn't it? This is a very tough shot from there.
He's normally a pretty accurate kick, Troy Luff.
Well, this would take a lot of skill. He's kicked it all right. He loves it. Good call, Roosey. Well, that is a great goal. A really important goal. And when you think that both the goals in this quarter have been from fairly tough set shots, Arnett and Luff, that's a bonus.
And Darren Creswell was involved in that play there, and he's probably had 4 or 5 positions already. Jerry Crouch has been tremendous. As I said, Durkay a little bit unlucky there. Troy Luff is a very, very accurate kick at goal. But that's a terrific finish from there. That's a very hard angle to kick from.
So 13-9-9-6, Plugger, just how tough that kick for Luff. You know the pocket so well.
Well, it was a very tough kick, but gee, he was equal to the task, but what a fantastic kick from 45 out, and just what the Swans needed was a great goal.
They've just pinched a break here with Armat's goal and Luff. Creswell, still Creswell, back in board. That's the search. Crouch has been good, hasn't he? And good tackle at the back from Pickett. And then Harvey got a shove and he'll get a free kick. No advantage really to the Kangas, so it'll come back to Harvey.
Yeah, good decision from the umpire there just to bring it back. There was no advantage. Big Spider Burton, not known for his silky smooth skills, so you'd rather have the ball in the hands of Brent Harvey, who, as I said, along with Peter Bell, has been very good early. See Brett Ellison just coming off the ground for a bit of a rest, and that's the sort of thing you can do with 4 interchange. Bit of a pinch hitter, Brett Ellison.
Fitzgerald on, so change of tack up forward. Both wanting the same result. Makepeace read at best. Little kick to fall for Carey. Takes on Seymour. Good tackle Seymour. Then Abraham looking for a high one. He's so skillful, Winnie, but not this time. And missing the lot. So it's interesting, isn't it? We've seen Burl under pressure, admittedly Blaze. Winnie probably should have done better. And yet the Swans so wasteful in the first half, doing well at the other end.
Yeah, look, Abraham only had it twice in the first half, and really when he's on song and full of confidence, he'll kick that goal. So just a couple of players. Abraham's certainly one of them that needs to lift for the Kangaroos for them to get right back in this game. It'll be interesting also to see how Archer's been used. Looks like he might have also gone forward. That's probably not a bad move, as he's only had the ball 5 times in the first half, and he's the sort of player that could get him some real spark up forward.
Short ball to Barry to Creswell, Saddington. back to Schwartz. Now he's on his wrong side here, and he'll want the line, and he finds it. So not much gain for the Swans, but they have a second crack here. Critical time, isn't it, for the Kangas? They've just got to make a statement in the next few minutes to really pull themselves back into this.
Yeah, certainly you would think that the Kangaroos will need to get the next goal. And the boundary throw-ins, ball-ups are critical. At the moment, the Swans seem to be taking it away from the ball-ups and the boundary throw-ins.
McKernan to Harvey to Burl to Pickett, who was stretched out, but he's good enough. Interesting kick to Durkay. It could be a 50-50 in the end. Well, Maxfield overran it. Durkay was chased down by Ahmed. King's a good kick on the run, but he misses. So suddenly they've become really wasteful, the Kangaroos.
Yeah, just a couple of chances. Abraham before King, who normally does kick those goals. He's very good in it. Very good, David King, at kicking the right goal at the right time. We see Fosdyke and Allison on the bench, but King normally kicks those goals. And he's very, very good in that situation, just outside 50. So that could be a critical miss there.
Seymour short. He's had a good match today. Named as an emergency. Jason Ball dropped out. That ankle's still a worry. Nick's in short. Hasn't had it so much today, Nick's, but he's had a job to do. Haven't seen that rebound quite so evident, have we? She runs a long way in the end. It's a good kick in terms of numbers. They've got 2-on-1, but the mark wasn't taken. But Crouch cleverly to Maxwell, who didn't get a good connection with it, and it comes back to Pickett, but again Maxwell gets involved. Back to Makepeace. Makepeace to Lang. Lang forced to stop and wait a bit, and then hurries it a little bit to half forward. Big fly from Wharf. Not a bad tactic. Saddington back to Nix to Saddington. Good in close stuff to Wharf. Wharf can burst a bit and then kick to centre half forward. O'Loughlin front spot. Stafford read it well at the back. Has a second crack. He's outnumbered down to O'Loughlin. Was cut off in the end by Blakey. O'Loughlin has another go. Little one in board to Barry. Well played, Burton, to rob him. Terrific stuff by both teams. Creswell back to Crouch. It's hard to get hold of at the moment. Like slippery soap. Back to Barry. Back to Nix. Goes wide to Saddington. He stretched a bit. Creswell's over the top for the handball. Matt's on if he can get it to him. Pickett's got him. Creswell's looking for it. Creswell goes to Matt, can't get there. Getting in there, Abraham. Back turn was good. Back to Durkay. The Kangaroos get out of it. Durkay's kick, and leading hard is King, who's gone forward by the look of it.
Well done by Pickett there. He took a chance, left his man. Darren Creswell looked like he was going to get the ball on the clear. Fantastic effort from Pickett.
Carey shoves and gets pinged.
Yeah, just a little nudge in the back. Andrew Dunkley just continues to play in front. Against Wayne Carey, it's a bit of a gamble. I've always said the best way to play Wayne Carey is from behind, but that's Andrew's game, and he reaped the rewards there.
Shawble getting it from Wharf. Been all right today, Shawble, hasn't he? That's not a great kick, though. Stafford could make a contest. Burton, it comes down. Taken by Armat, having a good match. Armat's kick to the goals too. Goods at the back. Good play, Simpson in the front. Tries to get it out. Goods onto him. Good decision by the umpire.
Yeah, well done by Adam Simpson. That's a tough matchup for him. Yeah, that's Winston Abraham back on the bench. As I said, he's only had the ball 4 or 5 times and missed a shot. A tough matchup for Adam Simpson down there. He's about 5'10", 5'11". Adam Goods is 6'5", so a terrific effort.
McCartney and Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, but Durkay then tried to control it, and it'll be a good result, I think, it's either Clayton or the line. Goals are pretty tough to get, aren't they, at the moment?
It's really closed down, really tightened up around midfield. It's a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. We've got Carey up at one end, Mickey O'Loughlin, Robbie Armat and Adam Goods down the other end, certainly creating headaches for the Kangaroos. But to the Kangaroos defenders' credit, it's been down there a lot and they've done pretty well.
McKernan was in there. Bell, well done to McCartney. McCartney's quick kick around the corner. Makepeace was running hard. Yeah, Dunkley was terrific there. Desperation plus. And Crouch has been very impressive. O'Loughlin wants it over the back. Crouch loads up, goes hard and high. Goods with half a chance. Oh, Luff's taken a beauty. That is a terrific mark. That is his trademark, isn't it?
Yeah, that was well done by Trawler. It just really snatched that out.
50 metres.
Yeah, well, that's a give-me goal once again. Martin Pike, I think that was against, but geez, he really just snatched that out of the air, didn't he? It looked like, let's see Jared Crouch coming in along. There was about a pack of 4 or 5 players here. Yeah, well done. Martin Pike had hold of his jumper
and kicks the goal. Well, Luffy's done well here. 2 third-quarter goals.
Yeah, look, Troy Luff's had a very good game. He's had 8 kicks and 5 handballs and kicked 2 goals. And did very well there. Just to hold Pike off in that contest. As we said, Jared Crouch has been critical in this 3rd quarter. He's probably had 5 or 6 possessions already. Kicks in the ball long. Once again in the dangerous area, bit of a pack. Just used his body to particularly well there. Pike held on to him, took a pretty strong mark, and that's a good goal.
So a couple of goals to Luff. Pike there, he's going to come off the ground. There was a suggestion he might have been reported. We didn't see anything up here.
I'm quite sure he's been reported, Bruce. I seen the umpire take his number when he went back to the goal line, and I think he's just coming off to have a quiet chat to Dennis.
Well, that's a blow to the Kangas, and they're in a bit of trouble here. Schwartz kicks to centre half forward, Clayton around the body, and then kicks out wide. Well, they need a bit of luck, and they got a bad bounce there. Kingsley, his first run, that's unlucky for the kid. Goes back, well done, Crouch, but the Kangaroos with numbers of pressure. Harvey down to Bell, back to King, had to sit and wait. Kick around the body to Grant. Nix had a run at it. Dunkley didn't take it cleanly. Archer back, make peace, little kick, good, goal.
Yeah, just a little Andrew Dunkley fumble there. Matthew Nix, Pike on the phone there, and as Tony Lockett suggested, yeah, I would think he'd be getting a bit of a spray here. David King, just maybe a bad option there. Well done by Matthew Nix to come down spoiled. Just Andrew Dunkley, just a little fumble there. Ball went to ground. Nice quick handball and a good finish. Once again, the Kangaroos just hanging around, getting back within sort of 4 goals too at this stage, and just hanging in there.
They're the best team I've seen in recent years, hanging around and then working off it, aren't they?
You look, they certainly are. And with the firepower they do have up forward, normally if they can hang in there and they get the ball down quickly to Carey on 2 or 3 occasions, they're right back in the game.
King kicks. And as Paul said, they might have get an instant look at this. Seymour, Carey trying to worry him out of it. He almost does. It's still in play. Out now. Just thinking a moment ago, Plugger, how lucky was Martin Pike that Dennis Pagan's phone's working. He would have had to run and sit alongside of him last quarter.
I'm sure he got a nice little earful there, but he spent a minute or so on the phone to Dennis, and well, anyway, I'm sure they've worked it out, and I'm sure it won't be too long before he's back on the ground.
He's a valuable player. 10-7 to 14-9. About 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It's at a tantalising stage, this match. A very important game to both. The Swans to really stay in that top 4 or 5 with a win, and the Kangaroos to get themselves into the 8 for the first time this season.
Yeah, it certainly is. Sydney have got a lot of home games coming up, and they need to capitalise over the next 5 or 6 weeks.
Kangaroos have got Collingwood next week at the MCG. Harvey. And he's just missed, I think. Good roving, but tough snap.
Yeah, that's a hard snap from there, but a good setup there in the boundary thrown. I think it was Wayne Carey came over the top there and just punched it down. Brent Harvey, they're the goals, I guess, when you're struggling a little bit. They're the goals that can give you a bit of impetus, but he misses that, and all of a sudden Wayne Swash, who's a very good kick out, kicks it out, and it's away from the dangerous area.
Lachlan's really short here, and I think he might go to him. No, Nix, he's undecided. He's got 3 or 4 blokes that there's a little bit of risk with, all of them, and he's got Nix all right, but he is wide.
Now really now it takes out the other side of the ground. Unless Matthew Nix plays on, he's really got to go straight up the wing here.
He had O'Loughlin and Creswell really short. Now he is going out the other way. This is danger. Okay, now they might be on here, and Seymour's kick, if it's accurate, and they've done well here, Sydney, and they're away, and Armat's running very hard for Crouch. The kick's got to be accurate. It does. Pickett, you wouldn't want to take on Armat's kick. Well, not very effective. Burton, who's done pretty well, I reckon, on Stafford, because Stafford is so hard one-on-one. Is that deliberate?
Yeah, it's deliberate out of bounds on Burton, but that's a bit unlucky. But yeah, he's done well. Stafford we saw go forward last week on young Josh Fraser and really cut him up, but Burton's been able to stick, and a good kick by Stafford there. He was never going to kick the goal from outside 50 on the boundary line. Brings it into Ben Matthews, who is a bit of a chance to kick from here.
Have a look at this Spider. Well, he probably didn't disguise it too well. Just talking about Fraser, who had a real baptism of fire. He started Friday night terrifically well, was on the ground, and was like, gee, I've learned a lot from last week. It was really good.
You learn by your mistakes, and he's only a young kid, and probably more of a ruckman than a full-back. It's tough playing back down there.
Well, the Swans have been kicking these in this quarter, and Matthews has just come across the line for a behind.
Yeah, just interesting stage of the game. 4 goals, 1. Sydney in front at the moment. They certainly have done most of the attacking this quarter, as they did in the second quarter, so they've really dominated the game, but really haven't been able to break it open yet.
Pickett short to Harvey. And the little men have been very good again today, Harvey and Bell. Harvey at centre half back. Kicked it into the centre. Wharf got in, but I think Kingsley's marked it. Carey running. The paddock set up here for Carey. Kingsley, that ball floating. Swans getting numbers back. Dunkley belting it away. Blakey had to sit and wait. O'Loughlin's smother was good. Harvey, O'Loughlin was terrific. He harassed him and didn't give a free kick away, which was the most important thing. Archer through brute strength. Dunkley can feel Carey coming. It doesn't stop his endeavour. Bell underneath it. It's good stuff. Matthews in tight. Well done, Archer. Back to Makepeace, having a bit of a quarter. Lang short. Grant can look up and have a shot. That was hassling from both teams, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. And I tell you what, looks like Rodney Hughes made a conscious decision that if the Kangaroos are going to get up and win this game, it's not going to be Wayne Carey to do it. The last 3 or 4 times the Kangaroos have gone forward, he's had 2 opponents on him, Andrew Dunkley and Andrew Shawbull. So it's going to be tough for Wayne Carey to get the football. So what has to happen now is guys like Shannon Grant, who's got the ball now, need to capitalise on perhaps being a loose man in the forward line.
He's had a reasonable game. If he kicks this, he's had a pretty good game. And he likes it. He's got his second.
They're just hanging around. And we talked about it before, the ability of the Kangaroos just to maintain in the game, 3 goals behind, 3 goals 2, hanging around. They're notorious for doing it, just continuing. Their game plan's pretty simple. There we see the ball going into the forward line. Dunkley and Shawbull versus Carey. A couple of very good tackling there by the Kangaroos forwards. Glenn Archer is fantastic at that, keeping the ball in the forward line. Shannon Grant, as I said, if he gets those opportunities, he's got to capitalise.
Closing in a bit, the Kangaroos, 11-8 to 14-10. We're nearly back to half-time. They're just 1 goal behind where they were at. King, back to Bell, sweeps it wide to Pickett playing well. And the loose man creator, Grant's becoming an important player. And then chips very cleverly to Burton.
Well done by Spider Burton. He was in the ruck contest then, made a conscious effort to contest the ruck contest, and I'll tell you what, Peter Bell has been as valuable as Wayne Carey today. At the bottom of the packs, he's had 14 kicks and 11 handballs, and he's really got them going in the last couple of minutes. Shannon Grant with a couple of critical, but that's good play for the big man. Put some pressure on Stafford and run forward the other way.
Big Spider. He has kicked a goal this year, so he's kicked 1 for the Kangas in his career. He's not a bad kick. And they like it. He's running back to the centre, but it's a point.
Yeah, just once again need to kick that 3-7 to Sydney. North Melbourne have only had 1 this quarter, and Mark 16 to Sydney and 2 to North Melbourne. So that's a pretty telling stat. Inside 50s 10-11, so that's pretty close. But the game is back at a pretty good contest at this stage.
Kicked the last 2 goals, the Kangas. Going for the numbers, Nicks. Stafford couldn't take it. Bell, high tackle. And suddenly the Kangaroos are on top, sweeps it. Pickett becoming more and more influential, then straightens the body. Archer over the top, Seymour. He had Archer coming at him. A tough call. It gets back to King, gets it back to Makepeace. He likes it. He's kicked his second. No, sorry, Kangaroos supporters.
Gee, I tell you what, he's celebrating. He still thinks he's kicked a goal there, so
have a look. They're going to get a shot.
Yeah, they're going to get a shot. But Glenn Archer's hasn't got a lot of football since he's been on the forward line, but he's made 2 very critical tackles, and he does make things happen when he goes up there.
I reckon he's been good, Rosie Archer, and he's been very good in this quarter. Sorry to your fans at home, but it looked like everybody was celebrating. Maxfield's kick, Lang's got the drop on Creswell, down to Clayton, down to Carey. Kanga's having a terrific little burst here. King, oh, good stuff, King. He could have blazed. McKernan pulls rank and kicks his 3rd. Well, the signs are really good for the Kangaroos at the moment.
Yeah, they are good for the Kangaroos. They seem to be full of running at the moment. They've got right back into this game. They're only 2 goals behind. I don't know how 2 Kangaroos players can get this far open. It's beyond me. Corey McKernan, and I think that was Brent Harvey standing right next to him. How they can get that far open is an absolute mystery to me. But make no mistake, the Kangaroos have got all the momentum going this way. And this centre clearance, 3 goals to McKernan. He's only had 7 possessions, but 3 goals, and he has a little bit of a history of doing that, doesn't he? Just kicking critical goals. Doesn't often get a lot of the football, but this centre clearance is very important for both teams.
Kicked the last 3 goals, the Kangaroos. 1 goal either way here is a huge change to the match. Bell pushing forward to Abraham, to King, who takes them on. Oh, this will be a goal if he can kick it. Loads it up and kicks a beauty.
Well, I tell you what, you will not see too many better goals than that. David King has been exceptional in the last 10 minutes. David King, Peter Bell, Brent Harvey, have a look at this. Just sit back at home and watch this goal. Takes 3 Sydney Swans players on, probably ran about 10, 12 metres, and the finish was fantastic. It's very difficult when you're running at top pace. Not that I get able to run that quick, but it's very, very difficult to run at top pace and to be able to deliver a goal from that distance.
Somebody said, how did David King play footy? You'd shown that tape. That is him at his absolute best, and he's done it before. That was a wonderful bit of football.
Unquestionably, what a fantastic goal. The centre clearance, as I said, once again, very important. The Swans have got to get this next one out because the momentum's going Kangaroos' way.
Luff's been good, but they need someone to stand up here. The Kangas are winning the goal. The last 4 or 5 minutes have been critical in both the second and third quarters. Abraham with those skills, wants Carey, bounce okay, turns his man, but then still Carey. That was okay. McKernan to Carey. Good skills by the big man. Simpson had to rush it a bit, floats it. Can Winnie get a fly? It's over the back. Tell you what, the Swans would want to be in front at three-quarter time. They'll be dirty, filthy, if the Kangaroos can be level or in front.
Yeah, I don't think it's too unfair to say that the majority of the game, the Swans, if they had to capitalise, they could be 5 or 6 up, but full credit to the Kangaroos. They have hung in there. The defence has weathered the storm early in this quarter. Fellas like McCartney and Blakey and co down back, they've weathered the storm and they're right back in this game.
Abraham to Wharf to Matthews to Nixon. I think their forwards have defended really well in this quarter too, and Archer's led from the front. Going back, well, Durkay is a good kick, lines it up, does a David King and scores a level. Scores a level.
Wow, what another great goal. We have been treated to some fantastic football and scores a level. David King, firstly, and then was that Gary Durkay? I think he's playing off the half-back flank.
He's now swapped with King, hasn't he?
It looks like they're swapping on the wing or in the midfield, but it's certainly worrying sides for Rodney Eade. There's Kangaroos players running all over the ground unchecked, and I called it before when McKernan kicked a goal from 1 metre out. There was two Kangaroos unopposed. The Kangaroos are full of running at the moment, and they will probably go in, well, it's going to be level, but I would suggest with the momentum, they might go in ahead at three-quarter time.
There's a minute to go, Roosie. A lot can happen, can't it, on this ground in a minute. Maybe the Kangas will be in front. McKernan gets it from Blakey. Harvey trapped it beautifully, then turns inside out. Got probably a bit clever even for himself. Grant loads it up. Well, could be a third time. Lucky, it's another one. Grant kicked the bomb. They're in front.
Well, that's 3 nearly identical goals. 3 from outside 50 from 3 of their, I guess, 2 of their key players in King and Grant and Durkay, who's played his first game for Donkey's years there. The Swans tackling has really suffered in the last 10 minutes. The Kangaroos have been prepared to take them on, run around them. The Swans are a bit sloppy, getting arm tackles on, but the Kangaroos have been able to break those tackles, and they will go into the quarter-time break in front, three-quarter time break in front.
You be careful, Roosie. You reckon it would be even a moment ago? There's still 30 seconds, you never know. One quick one out of the centre, perhaps the Swans can get one back. Boy, do they need it. The Kangas have kicked the last 6 goals in the match, and they've come in a hurry late. Simpson, Carey and Lang at the back wharf. Carey sweeps a handball. Bell with a chance. Bell with a big chance. Left foot, unbelievable. He has kicked it. Can you believe it? This is extraordinary stuff.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I can't remember seeing a turnaround in a game so quickly. It wasn't that long ago, Bruce. I don't think, where the Swans with 3 goals in front, they're now 2 goals behind. I think this in the space of probably 3 or 4 minutes, the Kangaroos have been able to kick about 5 goals, and they've turned this match completely around. All of a sudden at three-quarter time, Dennis Pagan will come out full of positives, and Rodney Eade will come out very, very disappointed in his team.
Well, they're 2 in front. There's Stewie Maxfield. They'd be really spitting chips, the Swans here. 16-10 to 14-10. At one stage, it was 14 goals to 9. This is an amazing turnaround. Matthews, I don't think the Swans are going to have time. Fosdyke. Oh, Durkay, well done. Very well done. Gee, that Fremantle connection's been good today. Durkay and Bell and Burton and Abraham. Well, Plugger, just a quick thought from you. Can you believe the last 6 or 7 minutes there?
Well, that's just been probably the best 10 minutes of football I've seen for a long time, Bruce. I think the way to describe David King's kick for goal and his eventual 6-pointer was just inspirational.
It's been a game of fluctuating fortunes. Blakey to Burl. Burl measures it to half forward. Abraham front spot. Wharf was at the back. Important they didn't fall over. And King, who's read it so well, what a match winner he is. He's about 60 metres out. He goes with a long bomb to the goal square. It's a terrific long kick. Well done, Shawble. Against the flow, putting his fist up. He's not unlike Dunkley at times, is he?
Yeah, they are very similar players, aren't they? Andrew Shawble's been a great pickup for the Sydney Swans. And he did do well just going back into the pack there. Didn't bother trying to mark it, just got the ball through the goals.
Well, mistakes become critical in the last term now, don't they, when it's close? You've just got all these bits and pieces, the kick-outs. Can't really make an error. Matthews decides to go very long to Goods, who did well again to bring it down. Shawble, the handball. Creswell was burnt up, pulled off it really, and Dunkley was luckily in the right spot at the right time. Now Wharf going to have to work here. Pike gets across. Wharf did pretty well, and then Archer was terrific. Good play. Pike's hip and shoulder on Creswell, and that's a contest. Well done, both clubs.
Yeah, look, a great passage of play there. First of all, we saw Martin Pike prepared to leave his man. Rowan Wharf was certainly in the box seat. Martin Pike prepared to leave his man, go and get across the Wharf. We saw Glenn Archer dive on the ball. We saw Wharf come back in. We saw Creswell. We saw Pike give another shepherd. So it was certainly a very good contest there.
7-point game here. McKernan and Goods. McKernan, Nix, handball. Abraham clever to Pike. Gee, the schools are good. Under pressure. Simpson to Harvey, will try and burst on Maxfield, and he does, and then kicks it to Lang at half forward. At the back was Shawble. Dunkley under the pump. Lang with him. Carey was looking for it to come out. Boundary throwing.
And it looks like Carey's just pushed up the ground a bit too, Bruce, rather than playing that key full forward post where he was a little bit out of the game in that third quarter. He's pushed up to the true centre forward position.
Goods worked underneath it by Simpson, who, as Paul said before, has done a good job with that high disadvantage. It was a hot ball from Dunkley to Schwass, and Schwass took it, but then was forced to kick a bit in a hurry. McCartney and Saddington in pursuit. McCartney hooks back now. Grant's got a chance here, and that's almost brings it to ground, and then they're onto him, and then he flicks it out hard towards the line and finds it.
Yeah, real arm wrestle once again. I think you called it earlier, just the turnovers. I think the team that can hang on to the ball and not turn the ball over at this particular stage of the game should get up and win the game.
And which ones are going to be? That's why we're all so fascinated with this game, isn't it? Sitting on the edge of our seats. Carey over the top. Matthews to Dunkley, went the right way, then kicks on his left, but the Kangaroos everywhere. Clayton had to sit and wait for a long time and didn't take it in the end. Held up there was Barry, so Clayton wins it back, good play, and then bangs it to centre half forward. McKernan and Carey, they've been so effective over the years with that banging ball, high one in. Goods, long hard kick. Pike leading Maxfield here. The bounce critical. Maxfield knew he couldn't take it, tried to build it on. Pike running towards the line. Blakey, O'Loughlin, good tackle, and gone, rewarded for the tackle. And I think Blakey...
I thought it was a bit of a tough decision. Johnny Blakey grabbed the ball and Nick O'Loughlin was right on top of him, and in that case maybe a ball up would have been a better decision.
The two superstars in the first half, O'Loughlin and Carey, were a bit quiet for various reasons, weren't they, in the third? Actually, Carey was very effective forward, but just not the possessions, but still critical. Harvey, O'Loughlin needs a big last quarter, you'd think. Harvey, floating kick, not so good, but Grant got a finger on it and pushed it forward. Seymour belts it out. King goes back, Simpson goes back. Harvey, crouch onto him. Harvey pushes it out to Pickett. Pickett's kicked a half forward. Bill looking for it. Bill running onto it hard. These 50-50 balls are critical. Great tackle from the Swans. Good stuff again, both teams. They're giving it all.
Yeah, look, both teams are giving it their all. The intensity's really picked up in the start of this last quarter. Someone from the Sydney Swans needs to pick up Brent Harvey. He's absolutely going berserk at the moment.
And he's still on his own in the centre of the ground as you speak, Paul. The ball comes back to Grant, to Carey. Carey measures the kick to Bell in the pocket, but Shawble, good mark. It is Dunkley-like, isn't it? That's nothing against Shawble, he's his own man, but it's like they've got two. Very short from Schwass, but okay to Fosdyke. Rather Seymour, sorry. Back to Shawble. Now this is a critical play. They can't turn it over. Matthews at half-back. Neat kick, good kick to Maxfield. Had probably too much in the end. Running hard, Crouch liked his game. He's the man for Harvey by the look of it. Again, toe pokes importantly. Pickett terrific. Crouch got a good break. This is a very important kick. It's coming back. He's missed it. There's a goal, the difference.
Geez, he did do very well, Jared Crouch, and I think he is the fellow that's picking up Brent Harvey. It's a pretty good contest. Harvey's been good early. Jared Crouch running. A couple of little toe pokes around the boundary line. Kick off the ground. Pickett chanced his arm. Did very well. Bounced off his chest. Jared Crouch got it back. And in the end, it wasn't a bad kick, just faded off to the left. Now, this is a critical kick out also from Pickett. And Normie is very good. Looks like the Swans have manned up here too, which is very unusual.
So they can burst, can't they, and find some space. Pickett's kick not great, actually, because he probably wanted in front of Blakey, and O'Loughlin's taken a beauty.
Yeah, I thought Johnny Blakey made the right decision, ran out, but the kick was just hung up in the air, didn't it? Gave O'Loughlin a real chance to get that mark.
Now, this is where the Swans fell down in the second quarter, going to this end. O'Loughlin's decided to bang it. He's got Fitzgerald, Stafford, building away was Lang, Stafford, Archer, good, pushing it outside 50. Armat's leg speed important, so Clayton can run as well. Armat goes to ground, important he kept his feet. Archer over the top, good stuff. Bill, wonderful skills, gets it to Pickett, and now the Kangaroos are away to Clayton. Just got to keep your feet, don't you, in that situation. Clayton's kicked to centre wing. Good stretch from the front from Kingsley. Ball taken by Wharf. Wharf bursting away and wide and not handsome and out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, look, if there's a bit of a knock-on row in Wharf's game, it is his disposal. He's very, very competitive, tackles hard, but sometimes when he does get clear, he either picks the wrong option or his delivery is not that great.
Adam Lang on the interchange, interestingly. Swans all went to ground, 3 of them in a row, like ducks falling over. And Simpson picks it up. Carey, Dunkley was looking for a free kick. Wharf at the back, good hands to Nix. Nix goes very short to Arnott, turns around, who's loose? Oh, the kick shocking. Absolutely terrible kick.
Mickey O'Loughlin was long, one out with Johnny Blakey, that's where it had to go.
Pike at his bootstraps. Oh, good kick, Pike. There's the difference. There is a big difference, one end to the other.
Yeah, we talked Leo Barry coming off the ground, but we did talk earlier on the team that can hang on to the ball. Robbie Armat there was clear, maybe even could have had another 1 or 2 bounces and run it right in, but as I said, Michael O'Loughlin was one out on Johnny Blakey. All of a sudden the ball gets turned over, and Shannon Grant, who has kicked a couple of critical goals in this game, he's kicked 3 goals, he's had 18 possessions, and this is just on his distance, I would think.
He's got a good kick for the little fella, hasn't he? Times it well. He said at one stage he'd played a pretty fair game, but it was starting to become a very good game, and now it's become a huge game. 4 goals. That's a big return, isn't it?
Yeah, look, he's played a bit on the wing. He's played a little bit up forward. He's had 19 possessions. He's taken 10 marks. He's kicked 4 goals. So Shannon Grant, who looks like he is playing up, but Jason McCartney, good decision there. Just chips out, well played by Martin Pike. And Martin Pike's a very skillful player and picks out Shannon. There's actually 3 Kangaroos players lining up for that football. And Shannon goes back and slots goal number 4, and he's had a very, very good day.
I think Bell, Harvey and Grant, they're little blokes. Geez, they've been important, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. They've really got them right back into this game.
Back to 2 goals. O'Loughlin, high ball to half forward. Saddington was at the back. Stevens under the pump from Archer, who's got better as the game's gone on. The official attendance today, by the way, is 19,729. 19,729. I'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, disappointing crowd, but I think we mentioned maybe at the break, if the Kangaroos can do some sort of arrangement with the Swans members, because a lot of Swans fans wouldn't have come today knowing they had to pay to get in the gate rather than using their membership.
Would have been money well spent, Paul. Pike, they've got plenty of entertainment today.
It's been a great game.
It's that 12-point margin, that 2-goal game that we've seen so much of. These 2 teams, well done. Wharf threading his way through. Saddington in a bit of traffic still. The handball to Nix, looked up beautifully. Maxfield's a left footer, straightens, hoping, going, kicking it. It's a goal.
Yeah, that was better build up there from the Sydney Swans. They took it right around from the wing there, the boundary contest on the wing, brought it all the way back to where Stuart Maxfield kicked the goal. And he is a left footer. We watch it here, Rowan Wharf. Well run, just runs very well off the half-back flank. Jason Saddington presence of mind. 50th game today. Matthew Nicks, quick handball over the top. And well done by Stewie Maxfield. Just propped a little bit, got back onto his left foot, and there's a terrific goal from there.
Plugger, last Saturday night we talked about the Swans crowd lifting at this stage. It's not a big crowd and they don't have the huge numbers today, but can they lift them, do you think?
Yeah, look, the crowd is certainly getting behind Sydney now, Bruce. They're getting the Sydney chant going. 10 minutes into this last quarter, she's going to go to the wire, and the Swans will need another quick one now.
They probably need to level it up, don't they? Because if the Kangas can keep two in front, it's just a handy little break. Maxfield, who I think's played well, he's been on the interchange a fair bit again today. Stafford and Fitzgerald, the twin towers up forward. Schwass running hard, boundary throw in. Now the Kangaroos, who have been so good today, the acid has been put on them right now, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to this, the last 10 or 12 minutes of this game. It's been, Sydney Swans getting in front in the third quarter, and the Kangaroos come storming back. The Swans have steadied a little bit, and it's really even money bet at the moment.
Stafford and Burton. Burton won the fist to it. Clayton, Armat's pace important there. Archer, we've talked about his influence as the game's gone on. King got back to Archer, back to King, nowhere to go. They were good in close, but they couldn't take the next one. Blakey was desperate. Saddington's a pretty long kick. It's a floater. It's a goal. Scores a level.
Well, we saw the Kangaroos in the third quarter. 3 players, 3 goals in a row from outside 50. And now we see Jason Saddington, who has developed into a very good player. And he's had a pretty good game today, 16 possessions. And another one outside 50. It's his 50th game today. And what a great goal. We've seen King do it, we've seen Grant do it. Now we've seen Jason Saddington. And the scores are level.
Interesting interchange there. Luff and Barry both on the interchange, and they've both been big players at certain stages today.
Yeah, they certainly, but that's Rodney's go. He likes to rotate his players on and off the ground, and I would be surprised, wouldn't be surprised if they both came on before the end of the game.
Simpson ran hard. Swans got it out of the centre. Lachlan was desperate. Oh, look at King. Tuck it under the arm, but the pressure from Nicks was important. Free kick to the Kangas, to Bell. The advantage to Harvey, to Carey. Probably 3 of the best men on the ground being involved in that one. And Grant may be the 4th best and takes the mark. He can kick this, can't he, from out there? Plugger, you know him very well. You played a little bit with him, and he's been terrific at the Kangaroos. This is not beyond him.
No, certainly not beyond him, Bruce. You've seen him. He's had 3 shots at goal today. He hit the post with his first attempt, so he was very unlucky there, and then he's kicked 2 beauties after that. So this kick is certainly not beyond him. Don't be surprised if he threads it.
He's been important, hasn't he? Bell and Harvey, so good in the centre. And then Carey. So Grant has kicked 3 goals in the second half. Got 1 in the first. Loading and loading. It's not going to be a goal, and Dunkley concedes for a behind.
Geez, it's interesting when a player can kick a goal. Before we saw Bruce Shannon Grant kick the goal from just on 50, and then all of a sudden he gets a little bit closer, about 35 metres out, and doesn't even make the distance. Plugger, is that more of a mental thing than anything else?
I'm not sure what that... I just think that the way he kicked it then, Rosie, the ball just didn't seem to spin through the air too nicely at all then, so he just hasn't made good contact with it.
Well, Matthews has the sure ball. Seymour's very wide. If he get, and Creswell's short, he'll probably go one or the other. Creswell has got it at halfback. So the Kangaroos by a point. That graphic we showed you at 3/4 time has suggested that these 2 teams just don't know how to play a blowout anymore, do they?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it is a cracking game. The Kangaroos by 1 point.
Crouch short to Creswell, and the stakes are high. I know it's only round 5, but at the end of the day, this is a pretty big game for both teams. Danger, danger. Pickett's the wrong man to put a situation like that. Again, that bad kick of Creswell's across the ground. It's costly. And the little one from Pickett to King. They're on here, the Kangas. They're on. Carey's going to mark it. And Carey's going to kick it. It's a goal.
Yeah, that's the second time in this quarter the Sydney Swans have made a critical mistake. The first one was Robbie Ahmed coming through the centre, kicking it short. It was chopped off by Jason McCartney, went back down the other end. Then Darren Creswell just brought it back inside the corridor just too early, and all of a sudden the Swans players were all running forward of the ball, which they do when Darren's got the football and going forward. But the Kangaroos were going back the other way. The ball gets turned over, and Wayne Carey had about 3 or 4 teammates all running together, and a goal.
7 points the margin, so a critical turnover, 18-12 to 17-11. Carey's got 3 goals. Creswell owes a bit here. He's got to play a big 10 minutes, I reckon. Goods to Bell, Out wide to Clayton. Clayton loading up and going hard and high. Carey one out. Nearly. Well done, Dunkley. Shawbull. Carey looking for a free kick. Shawbull hands and knees. They've ripped it off Seymour. How did that ball come out in the back? Don't know. Wolf will want the line. Finds it.
What's happening at the moment too is when the Kangaroos win their centre clearances and the ball goes forward, their midfielders are prepared to push forward. If the Swans midfielders don't pick them up, we saw in that case it was both Bell and Harvey running down from that centre square contest. We see,
Gee, look at that.
if that's not a throw, that's like the old tunnel ball back in primary school, Bruce.
No doubt about that. Spitting chips, if that had been a goal.
Do you think Swans are just going a little bit too short at the moment, boys?
What do you reckon, Plugger?
Well, I just reckon, yeah, look, I just think they might be mucking around with the ball a little bit. I just think they need to be a bit more direct and just start kicking the ball a bit longer.
Yeah, it's interesting, they've got Greg Stafford full forward too, Plugger, so you know, you would think they'd want to get up there as quickly as possible, and Ryan Fitzgerald in the pocket.
And the problem is, Plugger, if you make one mistake going short, it costs you, doesn't it?
Well, we just seen that a couple of minutes ago. I mean, you know, it can work, and it's good to chop the play up a little bit and try and create the loose man, but you know, the more times you do handle it, the more chance you've got of messing it up. So I just think they need to go a bit longer and a bit more direct.
Well, Stafford, poor handball to Armat, was behind him. Pickett, Maxfield chasing hard, back towards O'Loughlin. Pike, terrific. And then O'Loughlin's tackle effective. There's a couple of points for the Kangaroos are important because you feel now, Sydney, you're going to have to... that they won't catch up in the points department. They're going to have to kick 2 more goals to win it.
There's a free kick, Bruce. I think he must have paid, was it Martin Pike deliberately over the boundary line? A little bit stiff.
More than a little bit, I'd think. O'Loughlin's high ball. They've got Stafford and Fitzgerald and Goods and McKernan building away. It's not out yet, Armat. Oh, Bell, well done, Bell. He was had a 30% chance of winning it, and he just snatched it away from Armat. And a lovely kick from Pickett to Grant.
And that's just what I was saying, Bruce. They out of defence, they kick the ball long right out to the wing there, and it just makes it a lot easier on the other players.
No doubt about that, Plugger. Harvey's got it. Got to take a chance now, don't they, the Swans? We've got to break a line and really burst here.
Yeah, they do have to take some risks. And with Ryan Fitzgerald and Greg Stafford down there, maybe Stafford has to be thrown into the ruck, which looks like he's going into the ruck now. And maybe we think Adam Goods up to the forward line. And even Mickey O'Loughlin might have to go into the ball. He's been a little bit quiet after half-time, but they certainly need a spark at this stage.
Bolton on the ground and Allison off. Oh, talk about turnovers and going short. Suddenly it's on the other foot. So really important here. Schwash can sum it up. Fitzgerald in a one-out situation. McCartney did well. Swans have got numbers, but McCartney was terrific. That was last man standing. The handball by Durkay, not great. O'Loughlin should have got a free kick, didn't. Can he weave some magic? What courage by O'Loughlin. What play from Mickey. Well, unfortunately, Armat was flat-footed. Not really his fault in that situation. But both Pickett and O'Loughlin there, their skills were exquisite under the gun.
What a passage of play. I'll have to hold Bruce down up here, Plugger. He's going berserk. But I tell you what, Jason McCartney, how good was he in that case? He was absolutely fantastic. And then Mickey O'Loughlin, you would have thought this ball was round the way Mickey O'Loughlin was playing that footy. It was just an outstanding couple of passages of play.
Goods and Archer. You reckon the Swans need a goal here, don't they, if they're going to win? There's a free kick to Archer against somebody for hanging on to him.
Yeah, I think it was Adam Goods perhaps in the ruck contest. There's Ryan Fitzgerald off, Leo Barry on the bench.
Archer, Carey, he's the go-to man, isn't he? The bloke you want to kick it to in this situation. And he finds the line.
Yeah, look, there's still plenty of time, isn't there? But it is critical if the Swans are going to get up. They need to kick the next goal. And it's interesting there, Carey didn't take any chances, so just wanted to get it over the boundary line.
The problem when the clock eats away, and there is plenty of time, but well done McKernan to Simpson. The closer you get to the end, you've got to take more risks. The chance of them coming off are less and less. Almost a mark in the front. Dunkley to Seymour. Now this is where Sydney have got to burst and break a line. Creswell running wide, must find Bolton. He's gone short, and Durkay will fancy himself here and got him again. Creswell, that's a very ordinary kick. Pickett, still Pickett, still Pickett. Goes back to McCartney. Darren will think I don't like him, and I really do, but just too short.
Yeah, just too short. But I did look up the ground there, and to be fair to Darren, there wasn't a lot on offer, but maybe in that case, just kick it, maybe can get it out of bounds.
I think the sideways run at the start puts you under pressure when you're running out of the boundary.
And he was running onto his left foot as well.
Saddington to Crouch. Look at King go. And Stevens, who's got great leg speed as well. Clayton to go with King. good result for Sydney because Kangas had the numbers.
Yeah, they did. David King was running. Well done by Johnny Stevens to track him down. But 17 kicks and 9 handballs. But King had 2 Kangaroos players behind him, so it was a good result for the Swans in the end.
McKernan and Goods over the back to Simpson. Simpson suddenly with some time. A hooking kick to centre half forward, really effective, and Kingsley's got it.
That is an absolutely fantastic kick. What we saw there was Adam Simpson, which is about the 2nd or 3rd time he's taken away from the ball ups, but every player was running towards the goal square, and the Kangaroos players obviously knew just to hook back. Watch it here. All the Swans players running back towards the goal square. One Kangaroo player, Kingsley, comes back and takes a mark. Now, I don't know a lot about this kid, Bruce.
Kick six against
on
Port.
debut.
Yeah, against Port, yeah.
But this it's an interesting distance from here.
Yeah, that's the critical one. He's only kicked 3 goals in his 8 matches since then. Which is a good kick. Not going to make it, though. Not going to make it, and Dunkley takes the mark. Simpson on Goods has been an inspired move by Dennis Pagan, hasn't it?
Yeah, actually, Adam Goods has only had
Bad kick,
7
by the way.
possessions. There's another bad kick, and Corey McKernan, he can kick the football. I do know a fair bit about him. He can kick the football. Plugger, I reckon you're right behind this football down there, but he is a big kick of the football.
He's a big kick, all right, but let me tell you, he's a long way out. He's going to be kicking from about 60. And,
do you want to try and get your money back that you lost early in the day? I'll back him.
All right, I'll have 5 with you. Look, it's a tough kick, but certainly the distance is probably not going to worry him, but it's a tough kick.
Let's see how he goes. She's kicked it magnificently. He has kicked it, but it won't get there. It won't get there, but off the ground, Abraham. It's a goal. It's a goal.
Yeah, I guess that's the difference that Plugger was talking about earlier. Just the Kangaroos' ability just to get it in there quickly, although that wasn't that quick, but the long kick into the goal square. And I don't even know who kicked that goal.
I think it was
Harvey, or
I went for Abraham first call.
Here it is here. Let's have a look at it on the replay. Big kick in. The breeze must have held that one up. 3 Swans players going for there. And
Harvey,
I think Harvey did get on the end of it.
Harvey kicked the goal, and then Abraham's little toe poke. Harvey grabbed it and turned around and kicked his second. Well, the Swans have got to kick 3 goals now. 3 goals in 4 minutes. Not 4.5, and it's not impossible, but very, very difficult for them.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Brent Harvey's game and Peter Bell's game. I guess you've got to throw Shannon Grant in there as well. 22 possessions and 4 goals. But Harvey has had 25 possessions, the majority coming after half-time. And Peter Bell's had 34 possessions, and he's been absolutely phenomenal.
Real character-building winner. Can you build any more character into this Kangaroos team? Is it possible?
Yeah, they're phenomenal, and Dennis Pagan should be extremely proud of his men if they get up today.
Creswell's got one back. Good on him. Well done, Darren.
Yeah, look, that's a good goal, and we called it. They did need to get a goal. 3 goals they needed to get back in front. And Darren Creswell's, we've been a little bit critical of a couple of his disposals.
I have got the guilt. I've been too tough on him, haven't I?
But in the end there, well done, Darren. If you watch this replay, well done. That was a very, very good goal from there. And
it keeps them alive, Bruce. It really keeps the Swans very much alive.
Yeah, there's still 4 minutes to go. And if my maths is correct, help me out, 8 points the difference. So, yeah, look, very much, it's been an intriguing game, certainly.
And the Kangaroos are flooding their defence a bit here. They don't know exactly how long. McKernan, Goods to Fosdyke to Blakey. Those hard nut Kangaroo players will probably come to the fore here. Carey running hard. That'll stretch him out a bit. Well played, Carey. Well played. Pushing forward to the line.
Yeah, it is interesting. Looks like Big Spider Burton is playing a kick behind in the ruck. Greg Stafford's off the ground there, so that's an interesting one also. But Spider Burton's going to play a kick behind. Ryan Fitzgerald's come on into the forward line. Looks like Spider's going to have to go and pick him up.
Goods there. Simpson's little one to half forward. One thing's for certain, one more Kangaroo goal would end the chances of the Swans here. So they must defend grimly. Saddington nearly ripped it away. Shawbull's tackle was okay. It's in the pocket. Calthorpe, who I haven't seen all day, basically kicks to the front. Seymour, really big play. This could be the match, one way or the other. Wolf's handball, tough for Bolton. Did reasonably well. Kangaroos should win it, I reckon, now. There's a bit to go, but Winnie can line it up and push it up hard and high. Harvey, not the target you'd want, but he takes after you. No, umpire says, I'll take it. A think the umpire's going to bounce it. Harvey won't believe it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bruce. It looks like that's a pretty courageous decision from the umpire. I guess we do get on their backs a little bit, but look, I think in the end, let's have a look at that. Probably the right decision. Michael O'Loughlin definitely got first. Yeah, a terrific decision from the umpire there.
Swans shouldn't have coughed that one up, though. They were on the burst, weren't they?
It was a tough handball you called from Bolton to take, certainly from Wharf.
Carey's left foot misses, and in fact misses a lot. They probably would have preferred a point, the Swans, though, to be truthful.
Just had a little bit more time than perhaps what he thought there, Wayne Carey. But they will get the set up now. Jared Crouch will take it, or Ben Matthews will take it. Spider Burton's off the ground, and Adam Lang's gone down there to pick up, looks like Ryan Fitzgerald. But Ben Matthews, this is a critical kick now for Benny Matthews. Watch, Corey McKernan is back behind where Wayne Carey is, basically by himself. Shawball's made the run. It was a good run. So O'Loughlin being stretched. Now he needs the bounce to sit up. Now Schwass is in short in the centre, but Shawball probably did the right thing. He booted it and Luff was in the front spot. Good play by Durkay, didn't take control. Harvey's been superb. Kingsley tries to fend off, can't get an effective handball away. 50-50 ball up. Players don't know, but there's 2.5 minutes to go. The 8 points the difference. And the Swans can still get back in, but Kangaroos are playing very well. And the Swans just haven't really used the ball that well in the last quarter and a half. Nobody could take it. Maxfield held up by Pike. Oh, he's going to get a free kick for a high tackle. So Maxfield, the Swans go forward. The kick is to Stevens. John Stevens is marked at 60 metres. Creswell bursts for him. Fitzgerald goes. Stevens pops it up. They want Luff, I think. It's belted away. Who's got the legs? Simpson's there. Well, if there's been one big play in the match, it's about to come up. 2 minutes to go. Boundary throw in right forward pocket. They need a goal here. Yeah, look, you would think they'd have